Hey everybody, what's going on? This is the third Thursday Battlecast. I am the co-host here, Forge the Narrative Juice. TPM, that's Paul Murphy, will be joining us momentarily. We got Austin controlling all the cams and giving us all the good inputs there. We got two competitors about to battle it out for you guys tonight. We've got MBG, Rob Bear.
Hey everybody.
And then we got Kenny Boucher. He's going to be throwing it down on his side.
No doubt, no doubt.
I need to get a tattoo.
How you guys feeling tonight?
Feeling good, man. Having a lot of fun. We had to brave the weather to be out here tonight.
Yeah, it's crazy right now on the East Coast.
Yeah, it's been coming down all day. So 2 points that we were going to hit on with tonight, everybody that's tuning in. This game is going to go down in 2.5 hours. I know that we have hit on some games before. They've been going over a little bit, but tonight we're going to, from the start to finish, this game is going to be at that 2.5 hour mark.
Yes, sir. We're going to be on point.
Yeah. So give you guys the full tournament experience. Guys, you want to go over your Army list and see what we're going to be playing with tonight?
Yeah. You want to do yours first?
Yeah, real quick. I'll give you guys a view of what's happening over here on the Dark Angel side. This, of course, is the army that was voted on by all of our viewers on Facebook. Painted by, oh, you can't see my sweet tape measure.
There it is.
Boom.
Next level painting.
Yo, I got one of those and it has lasted literally 2 years.
It has.
It's like the best tape measure ever.
So check it out. So yeah, I posted up online. We had 2 rounds of votings, a lot of great comments. We're doing Tri-Land with the Dark Angels. Could not log in my Night Titan, so I'm going with my OG list. That's original gangster for the non-gangsters out there. I got 3 Centaurians. I'll show you right here. 3 Centaurians with Tigurius, just chilling. My obligatory Ultramarine Scouts chilling in the back. Obviously, I've got 10 Tactical Marines. Those guys like the Combat Squad and the Land Raider, from what I understand.
That's a good thing.
Got sweet pimp chilling. What is it? Librarian on a bike right there, with a Command Squad back here. Melta Guns and Banner of Devastation, of course. They also have an Apothecary. Got a Tech Marine in there, if you can see him. He's right here. He has a power field generator as well as my Librarian, just, also fortifies terrain. It doesn't suck. Over here, I got 5 Scouts. These guys like to chill on Land Raider too. They got some cattle cloaks and whatnot. And of course, I'll show you the more of a gangster view of the army.
Yeah, that stuff is looking fresh right now.
There are the Land Raiders. That's what they do.
Yep.
And what I'll do is I'll set this camera down and let Rob Bear show you his stuff.
That's our 2-faced tanks for the evening.
Yeah. Little split scene there. All right, so I've got I'm running Grey Knights Necrons, Matt Ward Fistbone. What?
Ooh.
All right.
Thanks, Matt Ward.
Yep. Thank you, Matt Ward. We'll take it. So we got the 10 paladins here. I think it's 5 hammers, 2 halberds. We got the apothecary right here with the just a normal 4-sword, and then we got 2 storm ravens, of course, right there.
Those good old trusty mind strike missiles.
Yep, you gotta love that perils. And then last cannon multi-melter right there. Then they're equipped with the Soladins inside of each one with a hammer, so they can hammer hands at strength 10. Just for funsies.
So for clarification, each one of these Storm Ravens has a single paladin in it.
Right.
And Drago makes them scoring, of course.
Of course, and Grand Strategy, loving it. Then we got the Necron contingent, just 2 scythes with 5 warriors each here, and then just a little Overlord dude with Gauntlet of Flame, pretty much. It's a little surprise. Hey, I got a flamer. Okay, cool.
Yo, Rob, I love the blue on those Necrons right there, man.
Thanks, man. I did that, and Kenny kind of yelled at me. He's like, yo, dog, you need to go back and like highlight them better. And I'm like, okay, and I did, and it looked better.
They look good, man. Look good.
Yeah, they're looking fresh. Awesome. Well, so did you guys want to go over the mission a little bit, or did you want me to break that down while you guys
I would
set that up?
I would love for you guys to break it down for us, because we are a little unsure. We'll mute ourselves so we can talk among ourselves. If you guys just go through the mission, We'll be able to hear you. We'll be able to do our thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, TPM.
What's up, guys?
Welcome,
So,
welcome.
we just kind of did the rundown on everybody's army to fill you in there, and we were just getting ready to go over the mission that everybody's going to be playing tonight. Did you want to take that over?
Oh man, go for it. No, I ain't gonna steal your thunder.
Okay.
I was a little late. Had some updates and all, technology.
But believe me, Kenny had to bail me out of a couple things. So we are playing the third mission in the TPM's missions. So the primary is Relic. The secondary is Table Quarters, and the tertiary is whoever kills the most Psychers. It is a Dawn, or it is a Hammer and Anvil deployment. So we have talked about this mission before. I've personally played it, and I really like it because it pairs the Relic mission with Table Quarters. So where on rounds 3, maybe 2, 3, and 4, where normally somebody would want to just go ahead and go all in and try to take over the Relic, maybe they're thinking in the back of their mind, well, if I can just take back table of quarters and table objectives or the quarters, they won't push so much to the center.
Absolutely.
So I feel like this is taking a leaps and bounds stab at just a normal plain old Relic mission that isn't that fun. And then on top of that, I love the fact that let's forge some narrative and let's kill those Psychers.
It's big guns also. Big guns never tire.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's right. The heavy
support absolutely can definitely. I believe that vehicles cannot move the Relic, but they can score the Relic. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and then
Well,
also
actually no. In the way you can pick up the Relic with the vehicle, if as long as it's a heavy support choice.
Okay. Good
Gotcha.
clarification.
Hey, Paul, I did have a quick question. Now, with the Grey Knight Storm Ravens, they are considered Psyker. Does that go towards the number of Psychers that are up in the air to kill because they're a psychic pilot?
I say so. It's the tertiary, and the max you can get is 4. So, I mean,
Gotcha.
as far as you're scoring points wise, and to me, I don't care how you get it.
Yeah.
I agree. So basically, if Kenny wins kill points in general, he's going to win the Psyker battle.
Yes, kill points aren't a thing here though. It's the
number of Psychers you kill gets you that tertiary objective, though, correct?
yes, the
So-
number of Psychers you kill. So that's a good point. Yeah, but since it's Grey Knights.
Exactly. They're all Psychers, so.
Yep, good point. So, yeah, I'm excited. I love to see. I think this is going to be a little tough for Kenny, though, because he's having to face against 4 flyers without really any psychic or without any flyer defense.
Don't want to steal that thunder, but so were you guys trying to say that every Grey Knight is a Psyker, or just every
No, Grey Knight vehicles. So each like a Storm Raven would be counted as a Psyker.
Psychic pilot.
A single unit, a Brotherhood of Psyker would be a Psyker.
So if I kill a Soladin, I would get a Psyker?
Yes.
If I kill all 10 Paladins, I would get a Psyker?
Yes.
Okay, that seems fair. I just want to clarify that.
Okay.
Continue, please.
All right.
Yeah, you got the dome.
That's a good point.
6
TPM, I wanted to turn it from 40K for a second. I just see how we have switched roles. I don't know if you've noticed. I got a quick shave going on, and you are definitely taking over the 5 o'clock shadow.
I don't even want to tell you how long it's taking to grow this. It's not a 5 o'clock shadow, it's a 5-week shadow.
But both of you are looking good. Just safe to say.
Yep.
Hey,
I
thanks,
got my copy of Scars in the mail today.
Ooh.
Yep. I don't know anything about what's going on in this book, but how I decide which one I'm going to read next when I pull them off the shelf is they've got this basically a cast of characters in the beginning of every one of the Horus Heresy books, and in this book there are 10 Primarchs.
Ooh.
So this is close to next on the list.
Whoever has the most.
When I'm flipping through, I'm like, yep. And now I've gone and pulled up 8 Primarchs. I'm gonna read this book. I don't know what it's about, but I'm back at it be.
There you go. Hey, Austin, I don't know. Have you seen? I see quite a few people have been pulled off the Q&A list. I just wanted to give everybody a shout out for tuning in. Chris Morgan, William Bryce, and Ed Black. Those are the only 3 that I've seen. I saw some other people post up some questions. I just didn't know if.
One thing,
as well.
some guys are definitely somebody's painting a Night Titan as they're watching this. So shout out to all the Night Titan players out there. good luck. I hope you paint them well.
Awesome. Listen.
So what have I missed? And I apologize for showing up a couple minutes late.
No, you're fine. We just did the rundown, and they went over the list. We went over we've got 4 flyers on Rob Beasley's side, 2 Night Sides, 2 Storm Ravens, with some Solidins, 10 Drago, and 10 Paladins. And then Kenny's got the Trip Land Raider with the Centurions. And then I think it's going to be good. Like I was saying, I don't know how Kenny's going to really deal with those 4 flyers. Maybe besides of the random shooting of the Centurions shooting up top, or some random.
He has options. They're very limited options to kill the flyers in this game, but looking at his list, he has many ways to score this relic and definitely capture some table quarters. So it should be a good game.
Cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how it plays out.
How are the 7th edition rumors going? Any?
They're rampant.
Ooh. Are you going on a trip there, Juice?
Yeah, sorry about that. Had to get to a better angle there. I was like, I do not live in a cave that is that dark, so. I didn't know if we want to do a rundown of what the drink of choice is tonight. Do we, TPM, you want to start us off?
I'm drinking a little Wild Turkey, and I discovered something new that I mentioned there. It's called Art in the Age is the name of the maker, Root.
Oh, my God, you got to let me coin it because I'm the one who did. So we got this new mixer to make that's basically mixing whiskey with whiskey. It's a neutral spirit, but we're calling it the People's Mixer.
The People's Mixer.
I'll take that. Stuff is good.
But I want to direct you guys to the table. Rob Bear set up. He won the roll for first turn. He's going in hot. He wants to have these paladins in a dominant position early. You can see he's basically only setting up Drago and 10 paladins. They are going to scout. He's leaving 2 Storm Ravens, 2 Night Sides, some reserves with all those pimps. Now I got to set up my Land Raider wall accordingly. I'll tell you, I rolled Psychic Powers. I did get Gate of Affinity, which I wanted, but I got it on the last roll, so I didn't get a whole lot of other good rolls. I got Force Dome, which is sort of useful sometimes. I got Vortex of Doom, which is kind of tight sometimes, but I would obviously have rather had like Precognition and Perfect Timing. But it is what it is. You can't play a Hammer and Anvil mission with Centurions and Tigurius. You can't play that without Gate of Infinity.
Yeah, it makes it a little easier, so it is definitely something to fish for.
So I'm going to start setting up my army. We'll direct you to the Gorilla Cam here, and I'll let you guys keep talking.
Yeah, think about how nasty Tigurius is going to be in the new version with all these new psychic powers.
Ooh.
I mean, some of this stuff, he's going to be able to fish for whatever the hotness is, just like he can now, but we've already seen we're going to get way more aggressive powers, which I'm liking.
Yeah, so I also heard today where they were referring to the Primaris psychic ability. You will not be able to get a Primaris that power unless you go mono that tree. So you couldn't be able to pull the Primaris from 2 different or 3 different trees into one if you go all mono. So that I thought that was kind of powerful. I think that will definitely keep some things at bay. And then also I'd heard a rumor from what they're talking about of having to cast, of not being able to deny blessings and maledictions. No, you will be able to do maledictions like always, but it's blessings that we might not be able to stop. Has anybody else heard that?
I heard the opposite, and they're all speculations because we don't know yet, so it's tough.
Did you get that confirmed that the no Primaris unless you go the full tree?
And nothing. I was just talking to EJ earlier, and that's what he seemed very. I think he had referenced something to the interview with Jervis, or I don't know if it was there or something, but that's what.
That's a good way to balance some of the stuff out, especially if they're loading up the Primaris slot with a Warp Charge 3. I mean, they could put some real beef there to where you have to commit to want to get that.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And
I'm okay with that. That's actually that's even a block for prescience.
Yep.
I mean, like if you want to get that reroll, and I have no idea what divination or whatever it is will be, but I'm saying if you want to get that reroll, you'd have to commit to all divination powers, and that's more of a limiter than it sounds like.
So what I'm reading and what I've heard is, so if you roll 3 times on divination, you get these 3 powers, and then you get the Primaris because you stuck with all 3 divinations. Does that make sense?
Yes, that's the exact rumor that
So
I heard
you're
today.
getting 4 powers because you stuck to one.
That sounds good.
Yeah,
right.
It also sounds like a little bit of a wish list. I mean, but what do I know?
Yeah.
I know nothing. I'm one man making a comment.
Well, it's definitely worth keeping your eyes out for, because this new edition is going to change things for sure.
Our man Jake just said, "Kenny, what's up with your face?" And I ask that question almost every day.
Yeah. Yep. So I'm gonna while Kenny's doing his due diligence there to keep those Lamb Raiders exactly where he needs them to be, I'm gonna go ahead and let everybody know at home that Kenny has turned into a professional barber. He is debating on quitting airbrushing, and he's going to start doing hair for a livin.
No doubt.
He started on himself.
That's why I'm growing out this sweet beard.
Let's check it out. That's awesome. Come on.
Get a little personal attention.
Yep.
This is our Chris Morgan says, "How's it feel to be doing our last 6th edition Battlecast?" Yeah, we are giving the send off the best we can, all hanging out, having a good time. So yes, it is slightly bittersweet, but Warhammer 40K is dead. Long live Warhammer 40K. Bring on 7th edition.
That's right. Tom here is saying hello from Ireland.
Oh, Tom, hello from Ireland.
What's going on, man?
To Ireland.
Thanks for hanging out with us.
Jake.
Don S. here said he's need to know on a scale from 1 to 10. What do you guys? Where are you guys with the confirmed 7th edition rules, including the latest ones on today, the Psychic Phase?
I know that this edition is gonna come with its own set of issues and problems and loopholes and whatever, but every single edition we've ever played has. So I'm really happy to see some of the changes that are coming into 6th or 7th edition. I feel like they've kind of danced around it. It seems like the flyers are going to be probably easier to hit, even if it's only by a small percentage. I think that we're going to see more power in the psychic phase and give armies a better opportunity to deal with psychic powers, even if you do not go heavy on psychers yourself. I think it's going to be harder to get powers off, which is what we want to see. So there's no more guaranteed, basically brain power in everything. That's my take on it so far. I think it's going to address some of the glaring things and make it more fun for everybody.
I agree with that. The brain dead. That's the word I think of. The brain dead psychic phase, where I'm gonna prescience half my army. I'm gonna do all these blessings, or if you're running demons, I'm gonna iron arm a bunch of stuff. That's not gonna be the case anymore.
And let me also state, I read over some of the new mission objectives. I'd like to think that somebody in that organization has read the People's Missions.
It has been said, let it be known.
Now, whatever. I'm happy to contribute to the community. That is all we do. Just contribute to the community as a whole and try to make a positive difference. And I can't say that, like these. Anybody can come up with any idea, right? But it seemed like the mission objectives were in line with giving everybody an opportunity to play the game, and that's exactly what we set out to do.
Paul just said that he can't say it, but I will say it. GW ripped TPM's mission.
Do it all. I'm fine with that, and I'm fine with that.
But to go with that point too, like I never want to be a 10 on something that I don't know, that's not in my hand, but I am as close to an 8 or a 9 for this new edition. I think Paul's right. I think it's going to have its own negatives, and we will probably find those out a couple months in, maybe a year in, something like that. But I think that from everything, even if just some of the stuff sticks, and even just with the leaked photos of actual words from White Dwarfs and things like that, I mean, you can't argue with those, and I haven't seen one that I argue with. That I would think is a negative. So
yeah, that I would say like, hey, that's just crazy.
Hey guys.
Yeah, what's up?
Don't want to interrupt you guys, but we have basically set up for first turn. Rob has already scouted his Paladin star up 6 inches. As you can see, I have built up a wall, carefully measured the inches, reinforced a big building in my deployment zone, so I got 3+ cover. For some Land Raiders, the Land Raider that's out of that cover has 4+ invulnerable, but he should be out of range of the side cannons based on a 6-inch scout, 6-inch move, plus 24-inch range. So I'm trying to not get side cannon too heavily in turn 1, because he's going first. The Land Raiders, their job is to go second. I gotta always go second. I don't even try to steal the initiative. I believe we're ready to.
You want me to roll? Stealing
Hey,
initiative?
can I ask Rob a question real quick while you guys are on camera?
Yeah.
Did you only roll 1 for the grand strategy, or did you just choose to?
I got a 3 actually.
Okay,
I was like, eh.
I'm not saying you made a weird call or anything. I was just curious if that helped influence your decision. That's all.
Yeah, he's trying to scout to that relic right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, he can't get it on turn 1, but it doesn't matter. He's going to get it on turn 2 with 10 paladins. That's an issue.
That's a serious issue.
That's the kind of the big deal.
I mean, honestly, we can talk about this after you get your pregame stuff out of the way. I don't want to slow the game down. I apologize.
Oh, wait, these are magnetic?
We just discovered a fun
crazy.
little thing. The boys' objective markers will stick to a magnet.
Huh.
Oh.
We just learned it.
Because the Du Bois think of everything, and
They do.
registration is open for their tournament right now. So
They can dig
get ready for the boys.
Real quick, guys, I didn't know if you rolled. Was there any night fight?
No knife fight. Everything as is.
Gotcha.
Sorry to disappoint.
Roll the bones.
Heck yeah. Paladins that close to the relic is a big deal.
Yeah, I feel like Kenny's going to have to pry this relic objective out of Drago's cold, dead fingers.
Think of it this way, it's like he has to kill the paladins anyway, but Rob has to defend the paladins anyway. So it's
Makes sense.
Yeah. What else is he going to do?
Something to point out, there's no Coteas in this list. Is that true? It looks like.
Yeah, there's no Inquisition aspect in this list.
So there's no Prussians on these paladins.
Nope. If I'm not mistaken, the standard Rob pattern is mastercrafted.
Yep, he's got the mastercrafted, and he's got oodles of hammers. That's he's got 5, I think.
Yep, 5 hammers.
That's a fair amount.
And then all the solo paladins have hammers. The 2 inside the ravens.
Here we go.
Yeah, hey Barrett, we were actually just talking about that rumor with getting the Primaris. So I mean, I kind of hope that ends up being true.
It'll definitely be harder to get these these awesome Primaris powers. Like you have to take all 3. Like think Eldar, Farseer, Master level 3. You have to roll Fate 3 times to get Guide.
Yeah, and if you do that, the only way to get there's no way if you go with Fate, there's no way to get Guide and Prescience. It's impossible.
Correct.
As it stands right now, they'll probably change whatever. Don S. Had a question about Unbound armies. Do we think how are they going to do up against the Warforged army, Battleforged army, and will they see any of these Unbound armies see any tournament play? I have to tell you, I made a snap decision, and I'm trying not to, but I decided right when I heard this that Unbound armies are dead to me. I entertained a list that I would play, which was 8 Flying Hive Tyrants with Twin Link Devours. Once I thought of that list and it pointed out, I was like, this will never happen in a tournament. Organizers will just say, in my opinion, Unbound armies are not allowed.
I do think that they will get kind of nixed early on in most tournaments, especially the larger tournaments. I honestly think that most Unbound armies are not going to beat a solid Force Organization chart army. Because of the limitations that the game will put on them, i.e., not able to contest or whatever we've heard so far. But I don't want to rule out the fact that there will probably be at least a couple of really, really super strong, aggressive table your opponent type Unbound armies.
Oh, absolutely. I've got a big opinion on this too. Obviously, these are all rumors and speculations. Like we don't really know all the details yet. But what I think that these Unbound armies are going to have disadvantages in tournament plays. These battle-forged armies are going to have super benefits to scoring objectives and winning the game as a whole. You could probably get tabled by an unbound army and still win if you're Battleforged. That is my opinion. I don't know it yet, but that's my gut feeling.
Yeah, especially if you're scoring battle points throughout the course of the game.
Exactly, and I don't believe that the Unforged is going to be able to do that as effectively as the Battleforged armies.
You may be right, especially since they won't be able to contest against a Force Organization Chart army.
Right, so it might just work itself out. Like, some guys just might try to be cheesy and run what they want, but they still will lose to these Battleforged armies that are, have these quote unquote awesome generals, actually winning the game.
Yeah. I want to say good evening to 40K Sue. Thanks for tuning in. She says hey from Miami.
Wow, I like Miami.
So Jake's putting that Night Titan. I can't wait to see some pics. And Tom, yeah, by all means, please, you can either do it up on the wall or in the public section, or hit us in a PM on our Facebook page, Forge the Narrative /Facebook, or Facebook /Forge the Narrative. I'm not the web guy. Why do I keep putting this? Anyway, with an army list, can't wait to see that stuff. We love going over army list, and 7th edition is going to be even more exciting because we're going to be basically in our B lab cooking up stuff as soon as we get a book in our hands.
Oh, absolutely. Hey, Paul, we got a question here. What do you think about the rumors for the flying monstrous creatures only having to take one grounding check at the end of each phase? What do you think about that?
I think it's going to be easier to hit them. And I think people are right now. This is just me, and I think people are overanalyzing that whole thing per phase deal. I've heard some people speculate that they'll be able to be assaulted and whatnot. I don't think they'll be assaulted. I think they're just trying to cover the fact that you can intercept them coming in from reserves. So therefore, you would take the grounding check, at that phase, and then in the shooting phase, and and so on and so forth. That's
right.
What I think that they mean by that. I think that ballistic skill 5 or better is not going to be hitting them on 6s.
I agree with that. I mean,
that's what I think.
So still hitting them more, and I'm not convinced that it's going to be a 3-up to put them on the ground. It might be a 4-up now.
Yeah, that could change too.
So things to look at, like these are things we don't know and we won't know until the book drops, but things to think about.
Yeah, it is, but I do think, though, with some of that in mind, that certain resilient flying monster creatures army, like the ones you've seen on this very network, with Nurgle demons and whatnot, could be strong again.
Even the bugs, even Juice running all the flyers, man, like that could be good.
Yeah, the Skyblight's going to be insane if this becomes more generous to those type of creatures.
So it's definitely should be entertaining to see the lists that come out of that.
Yep. I'm looking forward to it. Let's hit the table and see what's going down.
Yep, we got the Paladins. Look like they're swarming the relic there in the center.
I'm assuming it's still turn 1.
Yes.
Hey guys, you guys there?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, actually, we heard you chatting. We didn't want to bother you. Like, basically, Rob's first turn was running up, getting into position. He didn't want to waste. He didn't want to fall for my bait, to where he would take a few pot shots at like a 3+ cover save Land Raider with Venerable Dreadnought status. So he just ran into position, which is which is like my backup plan. So I moved up. I have currently all Land Raiders are in position. I did not Gate of Infinity my Centaurians into position yet because Drago is still the closest guy, even with a gate. So I feel like I would just overexpose myself. So I'm kind of waiting for maybe next turn. See what happens in the game.
Centurions beat down by a string 10 Drago.
Yep.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
And I'll run with that. Luckily, they got 2+As. He only has AP3, but
yeah, right.
But the hammers
failures counts.
For
like a week. But I just didn't want to get shot to pieces for no reason. Like I wanted, before everything happened. So right now, I'm currently at the very beginning of my my bolter shooting. I feel like for the sake of keeping this a tournament speed army, I'll just bring myself back in after we're done with this phase for you guys.
Awesome. Sounds good.
Tournament speed again.
We got the turn dice up here if you can see it.
Turn dice in white is on one of those buildings. I don't know if you can see it. I'll put it down lower maybe in this crater.
You should put it back on top. That's perfect. All right.
I don't know if you guys saw that one of the objectives in the spoiler was that you get points, battle points, for issuing challenges.
Yeah. Is that? I'm not looking at it right now. Is that including the psychers, right?
No, I'm talking about from 7th edition, the spoiler for 7th edition.
Oh,
not
wow.
Not for this mission. My apologies.
Not
Yeah,
for the-
that is
yeah.
one of the things but that is in one of our missions.
That's why I'm getting confused.
Yeah, I apologize. I wasn't, but I wasn't kidding when I said there's some similarities. I mean, but I think they noticed the same thing that we did. Is that interaction between players is just more fun.
I agree.
You might as well make it part of the victory conditions. Having fun is part of the victory conditions.
Thank you, GW.
Great. I'm gonna chalk it up to great minds thinking alike. What's up, AK? Things are going well. I think we might have lost Juice. Got some technical difficulties.
Juice is he's got some like old age camera details, so I'm sure he's trying to fix it.
Yeah, he is nothing but dedicated. He will be back as soon as possible. You're looking over some of these questions here. Sean, yeah, I'm actually looking forward to seeing how they do some write-ups on, talking about the Scars book, how they do Khan, because, the snippets I've heard is basically that he enjoys kind of the mystique. Nobody knows what he's all about, and I think they're going to play that up pretty well, with I guess 10 Primarchs in here, probably going to be a lot of crosstalk about him when he's not around, which I'm looking forward to hearing. And Ed, you're right. The Dark Angels know the dark secret of the dozer blades on Land Raiders.
They look good. Let's see if I can get this good picture of them. I mean,
I love that aftermarket bit. I've got a few myself.
Very nice, very nice. Hey, Paul, question for you, buddy.
Yep.
Back to the new 7th psychic phase. A lot of talk that you're going to have to move, and then there's this psychic phase after the moving. Are you going to be able to you have to shoot during that phase as well, do you think?
No, it's going to be its own separate phase. And what this said was that psychers that do shooting attacks in the psychic phase can still fire their gun.
Wow.
And I made it, I just made a list with, this is minor, but I made some Chaos Sorcerers with combi meltas. And I'm thinking how cool that, and already made, this is a 6th edition thing right now.
Right.
For the ATC. I'm thinking how cool is it going to be? They can just pop off with all these psychic powers and then combi melt somebody if they need to as a last resort.
That changes things. That guys firing multiple weapons in multiple phases is pretty neat.
Yeah, and it was very explicit to say they can fire multiple psychic shooting phases attacks and then fire their whatever gun they've got. So that makes things like Blood Angel Dreadnoughts, Librarian Dreadnoughts pretty strong too, I think, which I'm a big fan of. I talked about them a little bit on the podcast, but I'm looking forward to having them get maybe some validity.
Oh, heck yeah.
We've heard some things about how you might only get to roll your Psychic Mastery plus 1 die.
Right.
To cast powers, so that means the level 1s, level 2s, won't be just, rolling, basically trying to spawn themselves into Bloodthirsters.
Which I think that balances out, because you don't want lots of Primaris Psychers running around becoming Bloodthirsters. Let's be honest.
I do want lots of Primaris Psychers to run around. Let me just tell you, the first time, that I get to play these rules, I'm going to be shooting for that every phase. You will not be able to keep me from doing that.
Too good.
Yep.
Yeah, the psychic phase is probably the big ticket to talk about right now, just because we have proof that it's changing.
Yeah, and we kind of know what's coming, and I'm liking the fact that they're going to make it kind of aggressive, and I think that if they just spoiled the demiology fate powers, I think that we're going to get stuff spread out throughout the entire discipline list. I want telekinesis to be cool. I want pyromancy to be cool.
Right.
I want everything. I want everything to be cool, well thought out, and I don't necessarily say balanced, but I want there to be some chase powers in every single one of them that make it worth committing.
Oh, I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Hey, Jake, don't be shy about posting a work in progress. I posted a work in progress of mine, and I'm the worst painter on this podcast. So take that for what it is.
I don't paint, Paul. How does that make you feel?
You know, I've liked painting for a long time, but with like YouTube being what it is, like I've gotten so much better just going and watching videos, like just on how people do this stuff and listen and then getting techniques like on color theory from Kenny. You know, it's just stuff like that. Just like, hey man, what color should I put next to this? And he won't necessarily always tell me how to do it, unless I ask, then he'll tell me. But he'll definitely say, throw some red on that, throw some purple on that, and it's always been good. You know, so just taking a wealth of knowledge. You know, it's the best thing about the internet. It's all this knowledge out there. It's been good.
Got a question here from William Bryce about, are we doing any live streaming for the 7th edition?
We are.
Absolutely. All over the place. I know Forge the Narrative is going to do some stuff. Rob at Spiky Bits is going to do some stuff on the White Dwarf and the new edition coming out, so just keep your eyes out for all that.
Yeah, we're for sure going to be doing all. I mean, anytime there's been a major release, we've done a special podcast episode, and we will most likely do that as well. Like I imagine us recording on the night we get the book, Friday night, maybe Thursday at midnight. Yeah, like whatever, and then getting that out as soon as possible. We've been pretty good about that kind of stuff, and so there'll be like a double episode.
Oh, absolutely. Let's be honest. There will be no sleep. No sleep that night.
Right. I may call in sick to work. It might be like a major video game release. Like
exactly. Like I've got stuff to do today. Sick day. Done.
Right.
Put that in the books.
Yep. But I'm really looking forward to it. Like I'm gonna get it as soon as it comes out, and I'll be pouring over it like I would be a textbook.
Oh heck yeah. We had
Hey guys, you guys there?
Oh yes sir.
Hey man, we just ran through turn 1. We're about to start turn 2. So Land Raiders opened up. They only killed 1 paladin.
Like you do.
Not too bad. Rob used our patented look out sir every wound from a 2-up to a 2-up to use our math trick.
It's 2 Fs.
So
MAF,
basically,
yep.
I mean, you can't argue with the results, man. Like I think on a normal day, the Land Raiders are supposed to kill about 3 paladins when they open up. They killed 1. So they did 66% worse than they're supposed to do with the whole, look out, sir, 1 by 1 to the save no matter what.
Yep.
I tell you what, I can't tell you how many times you rolled a 1 and it was on the look out, sir, so.
Yeah, it helps.
So basically, the 3 or 4 ones he rolled were on the look out, sir, and it was like that 1 in 36 chance to roll it again. Looked pretty good. You never rolled 2 1s in a row. So pretty solid math. Killed 1 paladin on turn 1.
Brutal.
About to start turn 2. About to see what he's about to do.
Sounds
awesome.
good.
Awesome. Yeah, that lookout sir, kind of to a save equal to your save is huge. Being able to dish them off one at a time like that can change the game.
Yeah, I'm curious to see. We know, or at least we assume they're changing lookout sir to some degree.
Yes.
So you only make the 1 roll, and that could be devastating. That could break the back of a character like that if he's forced to take 25 wounds.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, the dice will speak, and he will die a lot. I think.
Yeah, that's going to be like the end of some of my strategies. Like, well, roll that 1 on the first shot. Now Typhus has taken 40 wounds, or now my Bygxander has taken 1 billion wounds. Hey, that's going to be the name of the game. It's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out.
Oh, absolutely.
Because some of these lists are just going to be useless. Some of them are going to be super strong, and I'm looking forward to getting in there and brewing. We covered that earlier, but we're really looking forward to it.
Oh, heck yeah. Me and Kenny were talking earlier about, some of these fun lists, quote-unquote fun lists in 6th edition might become useful and, good because of the new scoring rules and the new psychic phase in the 7th edition. So you might see some old units come back for this edition.
Man, if everything becomes scoring, land speeders, going to go back to being just devastating.
Dope. Heck yeah.
Where Space Marine land speeders for 50 points, attack bikes, something like that, I love me some Blood Angel attack bikes.
You're going to start seeing some alternative lists, some new stuff on the field, which would be fun to see on a tournament setting, too.
Yep. Ed brings up a good point. He's like, glad I wasted some money on psychic cards.
Sorry, dude.
that's one of the products that I started buying and then I stopped because I never found myself using them. Like I would have them, but then it'd be just like too much stuff to juggle at the tournament. So I just kind of I didn't use them. So I stopped at the Eldar powers.
Yep, I made my own little tokens that have the psychic powers on them, so I can like put them out in the field and do all that. But
sometimes they're real useful because, and let me tell you why I think sometimes they're real useful. Because I've played games where I did remember to bring them, where I just simply handed them to my opponent, like, "Hey, these are my powers."
Right.
Because he wasn't as familiar with the game as I was, and anytime that you can create that connection with someone else, as far as like you're not springing anything on them, you're like, "Hey, man, this is the exact wording. Please review it. You can just hold on to it throughout the game." That I think it's like from a tournament player, I think that's got some really cool potential for these kind of things.
Agreed completely.
We try to, from a tournament experience, we try to anytime that we can avoid the feel badsies. That's another patented FTN term.
The feel badsies.
The feel badsies.
Now this is off topic. Do you happen to know Juice's name for this Google chat?
Yes.
Trying to
Was it?
figure out where he is,
Lost in the warp.
He is in the warp.
You hold it down. Let me see what I can do utilizing our technology.
He was dispelled this phase. Another thing, while we're watching these guys move, I see some flyers coming on the field, some big stuff happening here. But Psychic Phase, I had some guys talking in the interwebs about the unlimited dice pool, but I do believe there's going to be a cap on how many dice you have in this pool. What do you think about that, Paul?
Tight though for a second.
It's all right. See if I can get a still shot of some of these models coming on the field. Looks like we've got, is that all 4? Or is it 3? It looks like we got 2 Necron Flyers and a Storm Raven coming on the field right now. We got a Rob Bear arm. Oh, yeah. It looks like both Storm Ravens, so all 4 Flyers came on turn 2.
I just had a talk with Juice's Machine Spirit. Should be here momentarily.
That is awesome.
Yep. It said deny the juice. Got hit with a. Yep. I have adamantium juice.
So curious to see if Rob used the power for the Grey Knights to increase or decrease the result.
Drago's ability or psychic power or whatever.
Yes, he's got. I think it's Psychic Communion, maybe.
Man, I never feel like I need to pad my reserve rolls. Now, there have been times when I've seen it used like basically like a surgeon. I've had it used on me, definitely. I've been beaten by Scryer's gaze before. How sad is that?
Absolutely. Well, you have lists that are like completely built around reserve rolls. Like, take Rob here, for instance. Like, how clutch is it that he has the 2 Meltas and 2 Las Cannons with these Storm Ravens coming on for these Land Raiders right now?
Yeah, that's strong. You want every shot you can get on him. Every turn you want to get.
And knowing that Kenny doesn't have a great answer for Flyers right now, and swarming him with all 4 Flyers at turn 2 is a big move.
Jake's asking how he thinks the 5 Knights are going to do in 7th edition. Man, let me tell you, I was all about the double battle cannon knight, or the double battle cannon shot knight, because he had an extra heavy stubber to get the extra grounding check on flyers, flying monster creatures, and now that's just basically useless.
It's gone.
It's useless. So mag him up to get the Meltas on there and just use it situationally to whatever your meta is. But I think as a whole, the army's going to do really well.
I do too.
I'm curious to see how they handle the D weapons and stuff though, like as like a whole. Because I know we're going to get invulnerable saves, but I wonder if it like locks a save. Like, what if you only get a 5+ against it? I'd rather see something like that. But that is not a rule. That is not a spoiler. That is nothing. It's just me
speculation
talking out behind.
And it's going to be a lot of that tonight. So be wary, ladies and gentlemen.
Some wish listing. Yeah.
Absolutely. They hinted at certain things are getting saved. they hinted that if you roll a 6 with a D weapon, I believe it's just going to ignore everything.
Yeah, you're gone, is what it seems
So
like.
literally, it says you're gone. But I'm not convinced that monstrous creatures or large tanks or things like that won't get saves from it too. But small infantry troops should never get a save from a destroyer weapon.
I kind of feel that. But, maybe the refractor field will back up that big chainsaw. Who knows?
Yeah, like I said, it's all speculation. We won't know till next week.
Yeah. Justin, you're right. The cards that Go Boy did up were amazing. I mean, that is exactly what we needed for some of this. Because in 6th edition right now, we have an accounting phase. We literally have a bookkeeping phase. And I would like to see that go away in 7th. I don't think we'll ever get completely away from it, though. But maybe with things like the psychic phase, we might. Yeah, who knows?
Absolutely. We got Juice back.
I am back.
Miss you,
Lord have
dog.
mercy. The warp took over. I perils. I went in. I came back out. Caldor Drago.
Carving initials and hearts.
That's right.
That's awesome.
I got to tell a buddy of mine about the Grey Knights and the state of the fluff that is 40K today. He played back at 2nd edition with me. Was a huge Tyranids fan, huge Tyranids player, huge Khorne Chaos player, and then but he aligned with the Black Legion. So I got to tell him about all the stuff that's been going down and all the fluff and stuff recently. It was nice.
It's a good old catch-up times.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Dropping new editions always brings old veterans back to the field just to check it out. So it's exciting to see that too.
Yep.
And so I don't know if you guys had a chance to touch on, but for everybody at home, if you didn't know, we do not have a dice cam tonight. So maybe for anybody who's watching or throughout, if you'll hit us up and let us know if you think it's a big deal, if we should push to get that extra camera angle in there or anything else. Your feedback would be awesome.
Oh yeah, please let us know. Feedback on everything. Hit us up in the comments on YouTube. And if you guys haven't subscribed to us already, please do, because that helps other people find us and stuff. And even on iTunes, if you can go and review, if you listen to the podcast, go and hit us up with some stars on iTunes and the reviews. That helps other people find us too. I mean, we have an awesome community. We've never asked for this stuff before, except for the last couple of weeks, and so I didn't know we were missing it until now.
Yep. And the more reviews, the more stars we get, the smaller Kenny and I shirts we'll get.
Scratch what I said about the stars. Oh, y'all making me.
We got a comment here from Ed Black about how he's not a big fan of the Allies Matrix as it is now, so he can't wait to see how it changes. We've read something. I definitely know that Tau and Space Marines will be desperate, just from White Dwarf leaks. But what do you guys think about the new?
Quick. They put that out quick.
Yeah, they did. So what do you guys think about the new Allies Matrix or possibility?
Let me go off on a slight tangent.
Go ahead.
Right. I'm not going to take us down a dark path or anything, but I think that Games Workshop has been really good about responding to the community at this point. Like, if you go and read the blurb, the actual wording around the video that they put out most recently about the psychic phase, they actually are responding without saying they're responding to the things that people have been saying. So they're obviously paying attention right now, I think, more than they have been before. And I think that's a good thing. And so that's why I think that they were so quick to point out the fact that Tau and Space Marines are not going to be best buddies anymore.
I agree.
Yep.
So while that is a positive step, I don't want it to go unsaid and unnoticed that they are actually doing something to try to speak to the community without coming out and saying, "Hey guys, we're speaking to you."
Agreed. I think that if some of these rumors and everything that we've been reading shows up about 7th, I think that is just the biggest icing on the cake for them actually listen to us, because it will fix a lot of the problems that everybody has been so openly angry about. I think it would be hard to contest that.
And let me also state that I thought the Allies Matrix was basically created by a purist. It was created by someone who had the best intent in their heart. As I clutch H.P. Lovecraft's face. Who had the best intent in their heart. But it was us. We screwed it up.
Agreed. Agreed. Like that's exactly what happened. We, as gamers, we completely screwed up the ally matrix.
Yeah.
Destroyed it.
Yeah, it wasn't until about a year in, if I'm not mistaken, right, guys? Like, so the sixth edition, the life will be about 2 years. Excuse me. So for the first year, it really wasn't based on the ally matrix. It was all we've got 4 Hell Drakes or 3 Hell Drakes, and
Well, it took the codexes being released in the rapid format and the way it was. It took all that stuff being released. Like Tau came out, and then you realize, wait, I get this guy who gives all these special rules to this unit. I might as well throw him in there. Oh wait, this new codex came out that operates completely outside of the force org chart, has no bearing on the force org chart. Let me add that in there.
Let me have that guy.
Oh wait, the Dark Eldar get a 2+ save, and I get this new codex that lets me re-roll that 2+.
Throw that in there, yeah.
Man, this sounds great. So I can't blame anybody for doing that because it does. It sounds great.
Yep.
Oh, I agree. I'm going to bring you guys to a question. We've got a question. Is Kenny hiding the power field generator in the center of a Land Raider? No, he is not. He's got it on a bike, and from this view, I can't see where the bike is.
Yeah, I'll peep that for you real quick.
But I believe
it's attached to the Centurions.
Yeah, it's with the Centurions and Tigerius.
So cool. That was actually, I think, FAQ'd about a year ago that it did not travel outside of the Land Raider.
Yes.
There's a fact you can't put it in a Land Raider and let it do that.
That was an old thing, which was cool, but you can't do that.
Which I'm not even sure that's necessary. They should have just let it roll.
Yeah, no, that actually came to a good question.
I don't want to interrupt you right quick, Juice, but I heard you guys mentioning my powerful generator situation. So what happened is that my Warlord got Mind Strike missile out of existence by 4 Mind Strike missiles from 2 Stormwinds.
That all came in turn 2.
Oh, he used Psychic Communion to make sure they all come in.
We did have a question about that, so it's good to know.
So Psychic Communion brought them all in. He was able to draw the Mind Strike missiles on my Librarian on bike. He killed them with the last shot. So he did get First Blood, he did get Warlord, and it is about to be, and he did 2 whole points to a Land Raider with a Psy Cannon volley.
That's pretty strong.
It's very strong.
That's a really strong.
Yeah, pretty good so far. I'm about to go bottom of turn 2 right now. I'll let you guys know what's happening.
Yep.
Awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it. That is let's just talk about the game real quick. Like another reason that Psychic Communion is huge. Now, just imagine if you could stop Psychic Communion in 7th edition. Like, no, you can't do that.
That's very powerful. I mean, people know, like our Super Friends list was built around the fact that we can stop powers that most other armies can't on a 4+. Now I've never rolled a 4+, so I don't know what that feels like. I'm just saying that was the intent, and I do think that that's going to change things up a bit, and that's going to give people the ability to really have an impact in the game with the list that they want to play, not the list they have to play.
I agree. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, 100%. I am loving this. He actually just moved it now, but that flying angle when you're getting all those flyers on the board, like that's a scary angle right there. When you don't have any anti-flyer support, and you got all that stuff coming in super hot.
Yep. Brian just asked, do we think that the -2 BS will reduce the required dominance of Helldrakes plus whatever list or whatever? I think the Helldrake is basically a miracle animal. So I think that the Helldrake is going to have qualities that are good no matter how easy or hard it is to affect them. But I do think that it's very cheap too. It's super cheap point-wise for what it does. And I understand it is an aggressively costed figure. I get that. I really get it. They want you to play with it, and it's got good rules because they wanted to sell them. Why not, right?
Exactly.
But I think that flyers in general are going to be less of the boogeyman because they're going to be easier to hit. Even if it's the average BS in the game is supposed to be 3, right? So most people are still going to need 6s, but Marines and better are going to need most likely 5s.
I'm not opposed to say a flying monstrous creature is easier to hit than a flying vehicle. Like an Eldar Crimson Hunter is like Mach speed. Like you shouldn't be able to hit that. But like a swooping monstrous creature, I'm trying to be factual and make sense of 40K rules. Which
Can I stop you for 1 second?
Sure.
Now, let me say that I agree with everything you said. I'm going to play simply devil's advocate. All right? That what you just said is your interpretation.
Exactly.
But that's fine. Why shouldn't it be, right? But I'm saying, but that is your interpretation of what it is, and I agree. But there has to be rules that we play by this game by.
Yeah, it's hard to make a rule set that can make everybody happy and logistical at the same time. I go back to my saying of I think 6th edition was a beta that we all had to play with, and I think that for what it is, and I really think that they threw in the flying monstrous creature aspect. They went completely loose, I would say. There wasn't a lot of restrictions. You got grounding checks everywhere. You got all this, and now, excuse me, it sounds like it's going to get more refined. So I think with only having to take a grounding check at the end of the turn, and now that we're potentially going to introduce negatives to ballistic skill modifiers, I could see where also you get a plus to your ballistic skill modifier if you're within half range. If we have introduced negatives into the game, it would only make sense that we would introduce a positive into it as well.
So I'm on the other side of that. Austin, sorry, go ahead, man. I don't want to cut you off.
Right on topic. Like, I'm a fantasy player. That's straight out of Warhammer Fantasy. There's all the modifiers in the world for shooting, right? Mm-hmm. So half range. Cover is a modifier, so it's actually harder to hit and cover. You don't get a save. Like, these are all totally different aspects of the game that we don't know are going to come, but GW does understand these concepts because it's in the other game. It's in Warhammer Fantasy.
I would prefer to see all the modifiers always be a -2. Like, we heard that they're going to get -2 for difficult ground, -2 for ballistic skill for shooting flyers, for snapshots. I'd prefer it always just be a -2. Because I think that 40K is supposed to be a more streamlined, faster game, and Fantasy is supposed to be the little bit more cumbersome of the siblings.
Sure.
But again, but also your points very super valid. I simply was trying to play devil's advocate. So I'm sorry if I came off a little accusatory.
No, you're good. You're good, Paul. I love you, dog. It's good.
Thanks.
So it's looking like we got some Land Raider movement, and Tigerius has Gate of Infinity'd up to start putting some pain down on the Centurions or to the Paladins there.
Hang on a second. Let me finish answering Brian's question.
Sure.
So I don't think it's going to downplay the fact that people are still going to take these flyers, and especially the crazy flyers like the Helldrake, but I think it's going to the rules are going to even it out for people that don't want to do that, or that feel like they want to take their Devastator squad, or with the 4 last cannons, or they want to bring back the Long Fangs or whatever. I think it's going to make the game more accessible to people playing the list that they want to play, not the list that they have to play. That's what that's what my takeaway from 7th edition right now.
Solid.
What do you guys feel about that comment? I mean, am I being too dreamy? What do you think?
What do you think?
I feel it might be it's what we want to remember 6th edition and potentially see 7th as instead of what it was, maybe.
Oh, sure.
I agree with that.
I guess that would be, but again, like, that is not to hate. Like, I like 6th edition. It showed things. It did, it was a completely change from 5th. So I'm not bashing by saying it's bad. I'm not bashing on 6th edition.
No, we know that 6th edition had issues. We know that 6th edition was becoming stale more rapidly than the other editions prior to it had.
Yeah.
We know that. We know that's not even negative. Games Workshop knew that, or they wouldn't be putting out 7th edition.
Exactly.
It's true.
So it's not like we ain't hating. We're just in line with what everybody else knows. It's facts.
I'm gonna draw this to the board real quick. It's definitely worth stating that Gate has worked out in Kenny's favor, as Drago is not the closest model to these Grav.
That's
Drago,
good.
Drago has been picked up.
Oh,
No, Drago is still. Oh, I see. I see what you're saying.
Drago is. See, now you can see that there's actually 2, maybe 3 paladins closer to these Grav cannons than Drago.
Yeah. Yep.
Sean just asked if we think that the new triple rulebook will be released in its individual forms. I would have to bet that at least the rules portion of it will be released in some little, probably a small hardback form, like they did with the sixth edition rulebook. So yes, I do. And if the new four drawer release tells us anything, that seems to be in the mind that they want to do. Like they released the Horse Heresy Collector set, and then release the companion books.
Now, don't be surprised if they release the small rule book months after they release all of them.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's what they should do. They should do that because they know people like us are going to buy both, and I'm fine with that. Whatever.
Sure.
Yeah, if I had the option from Jump to get the awesome small 6th edition rulebook instead of the gargantuan, whatever, believe me, I would have just.
Hey, look, there's hope. Look at this. I have 4th edition rulebook on my wall right now.
Yep.
So you too.
There it is.
there is life in for these books after the editions have passed.
There is life after death.
Right. Sasquatch says that if we go to smaller shirts or shirtless, that we institute the neck up cam.
The neck up cam. I like it.
We should coordinate and everybody wear sleeveless next time.
Well, I think next time we all need to be wearing the Blood Angel shirts.
Ooh, good call. I am 100% behind that. I might even put on my Blood Angels armor that I keep in the closet.
Nice. I made Death Company armor with them. I don't know if y'all seen the pictures or not.
No, I haven't. I actually have to find these unicorn of pictures.
There's a big convention down here in Atlanta, and several years ago, me and my buddies, if you've ever seen that meme out there, it's like the awkward moments. It's the Slanesh Marine and the Dark Angel Marine, like looking at each other. Whatever. That's me and my buddies, and I had a Death Company armor, but I didn't feel like wearing it at that time. During that hour they were doing it, and it's good times.
It's super classy. I love it.
We stopped lava. Like, it's hard to explain. People have seen know what's up, so.
I love it.
I'll leave it at that.
So I just had I'm wondering. I don't know if you guys can tell if Kenny has already shot the Centurions.
I don't think he has.
Yeah, to be honest, I just seeing him point. If I'm not mistaken, I think what's happened in the first bid, all the casualties that they've sustained is just from the Land Raiders.
Now I agree, and I see he's been whittling down Drago with one of the Land Raiders. One of the Land Raiders was closer to a Paladin, and I see the Paladin's been removed. So this Grav, if that's what we're about to see, could be devastating to this Paladin squad.
Yeah, and to be honest, Kenny might. Now, normally you would not want to have somebody like Drago tank, but I feel like maybe Kenny, after losing his Warlord so fast and easy, I feel like he might be instantly trying to get some revenge and make sure that he's able to get some of those points back right away.
You got a call screen for every point, so I agree with that.
Yeah, like go ahead and pull Drago out of that squad, I feel like if that's true, if that does happen here, it's going to be tough for Rob to kind of pull back out because if he's not able to get some multi-melted love on those Land Raiders with the presence of the Centurions or that Grey Knight Paladin squad there off the board, those Land Raiders and everybody can kind of just run amok.
Oh, it's definitely. This is a good game right now because say these Land Raiders start to pop, you're going to start to see like swarms of troops that are in these tanks like scatter across the field.
Yeah.
So it's actually interesting to see what happens to this Paladin squad in the center here.
Ooh, it looks like some armor saves are being rolled, and Rob failed the third one there.
Yep. Well, I'm trying to get the dice cam on the top as best as I can for these viewers. See some lots of dice being rolled here.
Jake, I just checked out your work in progress night picks. I like that green and gold color scheme. He posted on the Facebooks.
It's awesome. We got a question here by William. He's asking about in 6th edition, I believe players would blame the edition instead of their list build, and I think that 7th edition is going to actually allow some new lists to be out there, which should be interesting. What do you guys think?
Well, if you're talking about William's question, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he posted that on the Facebook earlier, and I wanted to talk about that, and I haven't addressed it yet because whatever. I mean, because I knew it was going to take. We could go on for a little while about this if y'all want to.
Sure.
Is that we all know someone that's done this? Is that they blame everything but themselves when it comes down to why they're doing poorly in the tournament, the game, or whatever. Like I've played people before, where I played a list where a guy only showed up with plasma guns and autocannons. And we all know that Strength 7 will not get it done on every occasion.
Exactly.
And he wants to blame me because I brought something with Armor 14. He wants to blame the mission. He wants to complain about the fact he's only got Strength 7. Well, no one made him bring only Strength 7. Like you have to take everything into account, and I agree. I think it's an epidemic. I mean, am I wrong? We all know somebody who's done this. We've all been against someone who's done something like
Absolutely. So he does bring up a good point. So how do you think 7th is going to change that? Like I believe that we're going to start seeing more, because with these new cards and these new objectives that you're flipping each turn, I think it's going to change things.
Actually, people are going to be able to score points throughout the game. Similar to some concepts that we've been pushing.
Exactly.
That even if they got like this just whacked out list, that they'll be able to maybe pull out some wins because they'll be stymieing you and getting points on their own.
Hey guys, want to bring you guys in real quick. We just finished turn 2. I was able to get Infinity out. Land Raiders have been lackluster against these Paladins. Rob has been sticking to the Lookout Sir to the 2-up every time. Barely grinding out any wounds on Paladins with that tech. Brought in the Centaurians, did some more damage, but Drago was able to stonewall like a billion grav gun wounds. So Drago's on his last wound. The guy with the relic is still holding the relic. Very unfortunate that Drago didn't die.
For one of us.
I mean, was looking to kill 10 paladins or something, but I think I ended up with this. I think he has 2, 4, 6. So he has 6 paladins. I've only killed 4 paladins.
3.
3?
Or am I missing a paladin?
No,
I got 6. 6 in Drago.
Okay, so yep. So not doing a whole lot of damage to the paladins. A little. I'm
missing a paladin.
Little disappointed with the performance of these Land Raiders today. They never disappoint me, but today they're just they're proving that sometimes a 2+ save is the greatest thing in the game.
Awesome is it when Terminators work?
Yeah, when Terminators work.
I mean, I'm just saying that's what people live for. That's the dream that people have been living for, is when Terminators work.
If you don't roll ones, you should do okay.
I'm just saying, that's what people want, is when Terminators work.
Yep. So yeah, I think we're about to start the top of turn 3. Drago has the relic. I mean, his unit has the relic. I am out positioned right now. Things can start turning for my Centaurians here. Well, I'll let you guys know what happens.
Sounds good.
Awesome.
Out, man.
Welcome back, Juice.
Hey, thanks, man. 2, 4. So from what I just got the tail end of that, it looks like Terminators made some armor save and inbones when needed to.
So
It
basically,
seems like they're working out.
Rob's not rolling a lot of ones right now. The Land Raiders are letting Kenny down.
Whew, that's a lot of shots to be letting down.
I agree.
And I did play around with that Mad Nap, and yes, we are going to be using things like that as soon as possible. I'm answering questions from the Q&A.
I feel like I want to be in charge of the director's chair when the Mad Nap is invoked.
You can do it.
I feel like I just want
I may lock this whole thing down. It might just be me drawing pictures like you see on the screen. Juice sucks.
Yeah. Like, man, what a dumb mistake here.
That's right. Who did
Triple
this?
circle like this. Just keep going. And then just start pointing down on top of the circle. Oh, man. So much
I'm just going to
fun.
be like 3-legged turkeys or whatever he does. Well, hey, Austin, you want to queue up a couple more questions, Austin and Juice, so we can...
Yeah, without a doubt. Let's see. Justin is asking here. Do you guys think that 7th edition will move things? Will die? I'm sorry, the question just got moved there. Will die or survive mode? I always thought there should be a few models at the end of the game truly mimic the scale we play. I 100% agree. I love the games where you just start out and you're just, it's just a slugfest. Models are getting removed. Like that's that interaction in a game that we talk about. Where if everybody's losing stuff, that's a fun game. Justin, I can only hope. I'm sure I'm right there with you, hoping that that's exactly what happens. I actually to kind of not undersell 40K, but I've actually thought about picking up. Not undersell 40K. I've thought about the 30K aspect because man, those guys. From what I understand, 30K is just a bloodbath. So I would love to see some more of that brought back in. And we've got the guns to talk about it. I don't know if you would agree, Austin. But
sure.
the guns exist in the game to just make it so where both sides are just taking massive casualties. But they're taking casualties in the way of which it's still fun.
There's some glass cannon lists out there that take casualties and just dish it back out as of right now in 6th edition, which for me is fun to play because it's always just literally a bloody, battle to the end. But you might, your 30K, like you said, has a lot of that involved, and apocalypse battles, like everything. Be prepared for everything to die, but you're gonna have a blast while you watch your stuff die. So
for sure. And then, so we got Brian here is talking about Dispel Dice. Would work a lot like the old Psychic Hoods in 7th edition and try to deny some of these. Yeah. So I actually heard some rumors. I don't know if you can confirm these as well, but so I had heard that Psychic Hoods would work where your Dispel Dice, if you have, let's say I have 7 Dispel Dice, I still need a 6 to deny the Witch. Or to deny the psychic ability, but I have a total of 6 dice depending on how many I want to put in to try to stop that ability. If you would have a psychic hood, that would adjust that roll by 1, so and then now your target number is 5 with your 5 dice or 6 dice.
Oh, so you could stop all sorts of things.
Yeah, so I feel like that might go down, go that path. And again, I feel like if these things do happen, and who knows, they might not. Just like everybody keeps saying, but we're not saying that we know anything more than anybody else. But I feel that some of these things that we're complaining about before could be directly, instantly fixed with some of these things they have here. Man, do you see that Night Scythe coming in super hot on those Centurions?
Back to that pit. That's mighty close. They should be scared.
Man. Coming in mad hot. He kind of playing a little defense there for the Centurions, or for those. I keep calling them Centurions. I apologize for those Paladins. I have lost
track. We were talking about a minute ago with just the getting down to like attack marine, punching another attack marine, and there's the only 2-3 figures left on the table.
Yeah,
that's what I want.
Yeah, how awesome would that be? You've got, and let's even go, maybe instead of attack on tag, maybe at the end of the game, I got Drago with 2 wounds and you got Typhus with 2 wounds. Like the rest of the armies, the squads, the respective squads are gone that they were with.
Typhus is winning that battle, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, no, like, unless Drago goes to AP2 again, But, I'm definitely feeling, I hope that some stuff changes. Real quick to go for that overhead cam, I love that new tack template that is there. That is the arc of which weapons can fire. Does anybody know who makes that?
I believe it might be. Is it G9?
They do have a arc of fire template, but I think that's a different company.
Hey guys, I heard you talking about this arc of visibility right here. This is Ironheart Artisans. Alex, really cool guy. He makes some really good acrylic stuff. I picked this up at Adepticon from him, so definitely check him out.
That's the dude. He also makes some chapter-specific stuff, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like, I shouldn't say chapter-specific. He makes some nice art designs.
He makes some sweet stuff that might happen to look like some other sweet stuff that you like.
We can't say what it looks like. But I'm just saying, this right here, is like one of the most handiest things ever because people get their angles mixed up all the time.
It's truth. Like actually, we're having a little bit of discussion right now
Yeah,
with these.
'cause I'm like-
we're trying to shoot the missiles,
Yeah.
and I'm basically they have a 45-degree arc, but like if you go all the way 45 on the inside, it actually your own Storm Raven blocks line of sight to your own missile.
Yeah, this is the best $6 I ever
That's
spent.
actually true though. It can you can block line of sight with the Raven.
So right now we're trying. Basically, what we're saying is
And-
like if you guys can go to the overhead, like we'll just give you like our one tactical thing.
Yep, that's where we're
Yeah, I'm going to the
Pass
overhead.
pitching this guy stuff. So basically, what we're saying is like, I feel like he needs to be here so he can shoot 2 mind strikes at what's his face Tigurius. But he was thinking here. But if he's here, he potentially blocks line of sight to Tigurius
Right.
with one of his missiles.
It's right here.
But he feels like he's blocking better from a Gate of Infinity jump.
But did he declare that he was firing this missile or that
Oh,
missile?
we haven't even
before?
got to that. We're
Yeah.
just moving. We're just moving.
Because honestly, there's no you don't. I'm not even sure you say I'm firing this missile or this missile. You just say I'm firing.
Well, if one missile doesn't have line of sight, you only get to
Well,
shoot one.
no, that's not true because it's just like the whirlwind or the hammerhead missile or
It's
the
not-
smart missile system.
I would agree with
or
you,
the
except for this thing
Tempest.
has a unique rule. You can only ever shoot 2 missiles at a time because 1 missile comes from each wing. That is the rules. To stay.
They
Well,
can they both come
I'm not
from
sure
one
it
wing?
says about each wing
They
business.
it does. They can never both come from one wing. They both come from each wing.
I don't know that
I
that's
read
true.
That is the whole rule. It says they can only fire 2.
I'm gonna
I don't know
look.
why, because you have to
I almost threw this thing away today, but I'm gonna look at it for you guys.
Word. Like, a vehicle, the reason a vehicle can only shoot 2 missiles, even though it can shoot 4 weapons, is because it can only shoot 1 at a time off of each missile to stay balanced in flight.
Hang on there, little trooper.
I got you, dog.
That's it's a good
thing
point.
I like about this too is the 45 arc. Like,
I'm gonna get on you like I
like
did Austin earlier. I'm like, hey man, that's your fluff. That might not be my fluff.
Fine, it's my fluff, dog.
That's cool.
Oh yeah, and also this is a good point. If you guys can see this,
Yeah.
For those tournaments that say this
45.
matters, you can actually do this.
So like if you like got this guy, you like flying hot on somebody, and you're like, I'm gonna shoot you. Like I don't know.
Like technically, it's a 45-degree arc. That's all directions, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I don't think you can see me right there.
you actually cannot.
Which actually, I think the unofficial rule is you have to be like 7 inches away from somebody to actually have
Yeah.
45.
And
I think
all it
it's 7.5.
says, missiles are one use only, but most flyers carry 2 or more to maintain a steady weight of fire throughout the game. A maximum of 2 missiles can be fired per shooting phase, and they count towards the number of weapons fired per turn, period, and that's all it says.
So
Word.
you can fire both from the right wing.
Okay.
You got.
We got. Can't wait for 7th edition where they make more sense.
But hey, Rob, to be fair though, forging the narrative, you should spin your thing around because you're firing, and you're on your center of gravity.
Can I do a murder shuffle with it?
Yep.
It
Yep.
doesn't matter. Like as long as he can sort of see Tigurius, a Space Marine will take that shot, even if that missile comes within an eighth of an inch of a friendly.
Danger close.
I completely agree with that.
Most powerful psyker in the galaxy. Human. Danger close.
Yep. Download the side strike missiles.
Word. Okay, we're gonna do this thing. We'll let you guys know how this turn plays out.
Sounds good.
Looking interesting on the field here. Looks. You guys want to look at the top view and see what you think? I only see 2 flyers from my view, so.
Yeah, I actually, that's what I was going with before they came in. I lost track of that other Raven. I'm pretty sure it didn't get blown up. I guess it just might have gotten. Did it just fly off?
I guess we'll find out. That would be huge if he knocked a Raven out. But I only see one
melt a gun.
from this
Hey,
view.
I've done it.
Maybe he flew off the table.
Man, I was playing in a game with a guy he's a great player. He's a local player, but he's really good. He's a good painter. He has been playing forever. He's playing this like Centurion Star with a couple of Storm Ravens and stuff, and had to melt a gun out of the back of a Rhino, take down a Storm Raven just with a lucky series of 6s.
Ooh, sometimes they come in rolls of 3s.
Yep. Like,
Runner.
18 charisma.
Man, when that happens to me, I feel like a boss. I'm like,
Yep.
my dice love me right now.
I just said, look, I'm really good at Warhammer. What can I say?
I'm pretty sure, Austin, when that happens to you, it's in a fantasy game and you have created a demon prince.
All day. If I if I start the game with 3 extra demon princes, they start crying.
Yeah.
Oh, 6.
I would start crying.
It's all about 6s, man. This is a game of 6s.
Yeah, it is a bit role dependent now, but there's a role for everything, and I'm hoping the 7th edition evens that out a little bit.
I'm excited. Like adding a card aspect with the objectives should be extremely fun. I think it should be fun for me to.
I think it will be. I think for organized play, it's a little bit too random for me, but I'm not going to pass any judgment until I've read it.
Agreed.
Good call.
Go ahead, Juice.
Oh yeah, no, I was just gonna. I'm thinking about this game, looking at this overhead cam, and Kenny's actually in a situation where if he can just make a couple 2-up saves himself, because that is the one downfall that the Grey Knight Army has always had, is the lack of AP, besides rending. That if he can just make some 6-up or some 2-up saves himself, again, like we could see a different side. We could see at least a clear cut. Somebody's doing better than other. Like right now, it's definitely a chess match. Chess match.
Let's get back to some questions. Our man Justin True was saying he'd love to see 30K take off more, but it's like it is significantly more expensive than regular 40K. And I agree with that. It is, but there's nothing that says that you have to buy it all at one time. The books are nicer. I will say, and I've said this before on the podcast, I would pay $90 per codex if they are as nice as the Forgeworld books.
Oh heck yeah, man! There's
pay 100, nice. whatever it ends up being. I would buy that book. I would buy the book that they make from Forgeworld every single day. I'd pay it for a regular 40K codex because the books are that much nicer. And the figures, a Bolter Marine is a Bolter Marine is a Bolter Marine, especially if you're playing with your buddies or whatever. Don't let anybody tell you different. But I like the pre-heresy armor. I love the helmets. I love the shoulder pads and stuff. But you don't have to get it all at one time.
Yeah, exactly. I would say that it would probably obviously look better on the playfield if you have 2 full 30K armies painted up, blah blah blah. But you want to know what? Everything is an investment. Don't feel that you got to drop that $2,000-$3,000 at once, because that's basically what a retail price of a 30K army is going to get you from Forge World with books. So take it. Everybody's got Space Marine models. Buy the books first and see what models. Always test play and make sure
the
that
books are worth it. The books are great books. There's extra fluff in there that you don't necessarily know about even from reading all the Horus Heresy novels. They put some extra fluff in there that all makes sense. It's really tight. It's good.
I'll back definitely. Forge World, all their products blow my mind every time I see them.
Yep. And I hear you on the Stormroom and Turret. You gotta have some special situations to make the most of that. But I don't think it's unusable.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say it's unusable. It's definitely a unique model. So you gotta get used to playing with it. That's for sure.
I've had to side eye people. They're like, you can't shoot that. You can't see me because I'm on the ground. Like, man, shut up.
I'm a flying tank. Stop talking.
Well, it's just like, are you saying that I'm literally just like fixed right here? Like, I can't do a little dip to, like, even if it's like a 1/4 inch, I can't just do that. Yeah.
Like, do you really think I'm 5 inches off this table, or am I actually up in the air? Come on.
Yeah, at K9, yeah, you actually could play the 30K game with just those 2 new red books if you wanted to. You don't even need both of them. If you want the Legion specific rules, like get the second one. But if you just want to play a 30K army with your own chapter or whatever, without the special characters, you could play it with just one of them. But yeah, you'd only need those 2 red books. It's a different game. It's a slightly different game though.
Yeah, I mean, I have just heard nothing but about like the blood and carnage that ensues a 30K game with like full squads of plasma guns.
Yeah, when you lose 20 Marines to a -1 leadership check.
Yeah, when you've got like Sakaran battle tanks that are just shooting plasma like everywhere, when you've got all these dreadnoughts doing all these different things, The Predator, from what I understand, normally people just say Predator in a regular 40K game, and they're like, oh, man, it's not that good. Well, I guess in 30K it's got this turret that shoots like 4, I don't know. It's just some ridiculous high-strength, low-AP weapons and all this stuff. I was like, good Lord.
It's almost like we devolved in 10,000 years.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there was that whole Dark Age of technology thing, man. It's like all that stuff went away. But it's good.
I heard you guys talking about 30K.
No, we're no apocalypse.
We're not talking about cats either.
All right, what about Britney Spears?
We did talk about Britney Spears.
Man, let me tell you, in this last episode of Supernatural, their cover names are Agent Aguilera and Spears.
That's fair.
That's actually what.
That's class in 1999.
That's what Rob
right
Bear
there.
and Kenny Boucher call each other in private.
Yeah, it's true. I'm a genie in a bottle.
Mr. Spears.
Spears, back on question real quick. Rob actually, he was talking. We were just having a little bit of a conflict about a couple of die rolls that were looking a little sloppy. No big deal. But then he expressed to me he was just feeling like a little depressed about a decision he made. I'll let him tell you.
No, I was just thinking. I was looking at Drago and I was like, he's only AP3, but I really should have run over there because I had all these hammers. That would have been funny. Whatever.
His instinct was to grab the relic and pull back and try to jam me up with the flyers. We went through a shooting phase. He shot me up. He did 2 wounds with my strikes to what's-his-face, Mr. Tigurius.
Yeah.
He did a bunch of more wounds to the unit, made a lot of 2-up saves and a few power field generator saves. And then after all that, Rob was like, you know what, I think I should just run it hot. And I was like, hindsight's 20/20 for sure. I just felt like we should mention that. Sometimes you get really hyper-focused on like what you're supposed to do, which I think everyone knows. You grab the relic and you hold the relic.
Right.
But not a lot of people think about, I can grab the relic and I can assault you.
Let me tell you that when I won the bracket at War Games Con, I took Imperial Guard with Logan and like 3 or 4 Wolfguard Terminators as my ally.
Nice, and I bet you would snag that relic up and just charge people.
Literally, I won all the relic missions, grabbing the relic and charging into their deployment zone. I ended every game with
So
them.
I have a question. I did notice that you had we have a wording for how far you can move the relic. Once you grab the relic, is the farthest you can move 6 inches no matter what?
It is in every phase 6 inches.
Per phase, yes.
Okay, so he's still so if he, for example, like let's say he rolled a 7 on his charge range, would he drop the relic if he needed all 7 inches?
I think it's only it's not maybe per phase, but I believe it specifically says how far you can move in certain phases.
I know you have a wording in the people's missions. I think that says so. I'm wondering and I've always actually played it that way. Like if I need a 9 inches to charge, I'm going to drop this relic.
Yes, that's.
I don't think that's true. I honestly don't think that's true. I will look it up though, like what it says in the actual rule book right now.
Just looking for peace of mind. Let's I'll see if that rule's real because that makes,
if that's a real thing, that is not a real thing in these missions.
Okay. Word. For sure. Got it. We will bring you back in. I'm about to do some turn 3 action real quick. I have some scouts outflanked. They are hiding in a building over there now, trying to hold it down for Linebreaker, assuming a bunch of Storm Ravens don't come in and kill me.
Hey, real quick, guys, we had a question. Did the other Storm Raven and Nightside fly off the building?
They got 2 jammed up, so he just flew them off.
Yeah, makes sense.
I'll bring you guys back in a minute.
They're coming back on hot.
Justin brought up a good point. He's like, yeah, for the price you pay for those books, you get so much value. I agree. That is one of the best value. Although it is still expensive. It's an investment, but the value you get from these Forge World books is great. Like even the original Imperial Armor books, like all the fluff they made around, like every single vehicle had some kind of fluff and stuff with it. They were really good.
Yeah, they're good at linking that all together.
Yep.
So I am rolling around the idea, I agree also that maybe the Paladins could have went in and did with the Centurions, but I feel if that would have happened, we also got to remember that inside one of those Land Raiders is like 5 Melta-Guns.
Yep.
On top of all the bolters. So if the Paladins did come in a little hotter to assault the Centurions, if anybody they probably wouldn't be alive, but they could Gate of Infinity out. Let's say he wipes them all out. He is within dump and just lay waste of the Land Raiders right there. And I don't know if they could have survived all that because all those multi-guns are IDing people out. And then he can just get sheer number bolter shots. And then at that point, he doesn't have he'd potentially lose the relic more in Kenny's deployment zone area than kind of retreating back and keeping those Land Raiders out of play. So I like the idea of moving back.
It's a dice game. I mean, if he did assault and did do all that, say he wiped the Centurions out, then he's looking a little better.
Well, yeah, I agree, but I just feel like with that command squad with like 4 melta-guns and all that shots, I feel like he will give up the Centurion, the Paladins where they are more forward towards the Land Raiders versus. I mean, he might lose the Paladins right now, but at least it's further back in his deployment zone where those solo Paladins and things like that could come into play.
I got to backtrack a little bit on what I just said, and I think that I've actually been in a situation like this before. Is that the relic? If you actually move more than 6 inches, I do think you drop it, even if you're launching a charge move. I think how you get around this in this case is being within 3 inches, 5 inches of who you plan to charge.
Correct. I think that's the right statement as well.
I agree. So if you do make that 9-inch charge, you're dropping the relic and saying, I'm killing these dudes.
All right, Kenny, hot in off the wire. We need to somehow convince you. I feel like a lot of bourbon would have to be involved, but we need to convince you to tank shock some of the Paladins. That's coming. That's coming to you from Justin Troop.
As long as Drago's in there, they are fearless. So they're just gonna.
Good call. That's why a whole lot of bourbon would have to be involved.
Literally, like tank shock. All right, they moved. They death and gloried with their hammer one dude, and he literally destroyed your tank.
Yep. Ed Black came to the same conclusion. Also, is that they cannot move more than 6 inches in any phase.
Gave that little bit of wrong information. I did remember, like, hey man, I have had to move within 5 inches of somebody with a relic before to charge.
So I love the canine monkey. We actually have thought about doing that. I want you to know. We were gonna dub them the Juice Cam and the Kenny Cam, and we were gonna have them on there. I have a horrible meth addiction, so I shake a lot. So we decided probably.
You shouldn't joke about that. That is not true.
I do retract that statement. I apologize. Don't have a meth addiction.
You already said it. I was about to say
everything this whole live broadcast.
Yep.
That is hilarious.
And I'm with you, though. I always try to play aggressive. I think you definitely should always try to be aggressive with things that are supposed to be aggressive, like Paladins. But that doesn't mean that wasn't at the end game. That doesn't mean that Rob's call wasn't a good one.
Absolutely. I think we've all been there, definitely in a competitive setting where you don't try to overthink it. You just say, screw it. Like, here I go. I'm rolling these dice. We're going to see what happens.
Yep.
Rob decided to maybe think about it and try to be smart about it, so we'll see how that plays out in the end. Not going to say it's a bad choice yet. Like, literally, I got to watch this game and see how it ends up.
Yep.
Michael Horner asked if we think that you were able to gate out of combat with Gate of Infinity. And I think the wording says that you can.
Absolutely. The way it's worded, literally, you pick your unit up and it disappears. Deep strike it.
I had no idea that Adepticon didn't allow you to do that.
Yeah, they've been very cautious with some of their rulings recently within the last 2 years. Basically within 6th edition.
Huh.
Interesting.
Yeah, I've always played, and I couldn't see a ruling in there where it wouldn't allow you to. But also, Adepticon also allowed you to somewhat infiltrate, where you can independent characters can give infiltrate to units that don't have it. So, it's just they're taking a different stance and interpreting rules their way. So they can do that.
That's the ones I agree with. It's just like I think that the intent, especially with some of these characters like Cypher, are that you're supposed to be able to do that.
Ooh, It's a
I'm not
debate.
asking
Like,
you to agree. I'm
yeah,
just saying that I
yeah.
think that with that character specifically and some others like him, maybe that is the intent.
Yeah, I know like some ammo to go against it is for example Shrike. Specifically goes into saying that the unit that he is, even if the unit doesn't have this ability, he confers it to him. Other people don't. Like here in Blackheart, you have to use 2 of his D3 abilities to give the independent character and the unit that independent character joins. Like it specifically says that in there and here, and so, it's kind of, I don't know, maybe, everybody's interpretations is what it is.
Got some interesting stuff going on the field. Got some wounds on the Centurions now. Looks like something is hurting somebody on the field here.
What do we got going on?
Rob's got these nifty tokens that are wound counters. I'm not sure where he's got them from, but pretty sweet. So we got the Centurions. Looks like there's 2 wounds on them.
Yep. Looks like these Bolter Banner Devastation's about to go down. I see Kenny's counting up a lot of dice.
20. He's like 24 dice a tank. 24 dice a tank.
Let's see. Michael says we played here is looking forward to the ATC. On page 9 of the FAQ under the Psychers, I don't see how you're making that ruling. To read that again.
What ruling is he talking about?
Talking about gating out of combat. If that's their fact, that's their fact. I can't say one way or the other. But I think the wording in the book is very clear that you can. But I mean, there is obviously contention around that.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just look it up right now. Y'all stand by.
Yeah, heck yeah. Let's have some fun.
So Ed kind of goes into what we were talking about and says that I had a good counterpoint to that the Paladins would be in a prime rage of the Land Raiders,
Right.
but he's going in. He's like, yo, again, the Paladins are going to be less effective at the range. The Centurions are going to go ahead and get their shots off anyway. So it's definitely up in the air. We did see that Rob early in the game just decided not to roll really very many 2-up saves. So he just might say to himself, I'm not going to fail any more 2-up saves and I'm good. So I can weather this storm that the Land Raiders are putting out.
Absolutely.
So let me ask you a question. Can you cast a blessing on someone in close combat?
Yes.
Yeah, I know that. I mean, it was slightly rhetorical, I know.
Yep.
But Gate says that place a counter in base contact with the model in the target unit, remove the target unit from the board, and then immediately arrives using the rules for Deep Strike. And then he goes on to say some other stuff.
But the ability is a blessing itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there it is.
There it is. You can totally do it, and I'm sticking to that.
Yep. All tournaments change what you're doing because it's wrong. No,
But I know that
Just
there's
kidding.
people that have said that you can't, and so obviously somebody sees some wiggle room in there. I think that you can.
Yep, I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to go to another comment saying that this is a game of wits we're witnessing right now, and that this reminds one of our spectators of Juice playing Blood Angels versus Kenny's Nurgle. This is going to come down to the end, dog.
Yes.
Does that sting a little bit, Juice?
Oh, man, it was tough pill to swallow. But no, I think it's great. Like I think we've got a big fatty Terminator unit, and there's sometimes in my case I wasn't able to make those 2-up saves, but as we all know, man, sometimes Terminators just won't die. As much as we want to talk junk about them, and there's better stuff out there, but sometimes that 2-up save is all you need, and especially Paladins with multiple wounds, shy of the melta guns that he's got in that squad inside the Land Raider. There's not a lot of killing stuff out there, so the Paladins really get to their full use, we should say, since you'll have to chew through both wounds to get them gone. see what else we got here. Looks like Q&A. Sean, there's a good point. Part of the next level of play is the ability to keep your mind 100% on the game. That's don't skip unit phases, small mistakes, especially throughout a day on games 3 and 4 can mess things up. Like, I completely agree. You have got to stay focused, stay in the game. We've actually brought up ATC a little bit, things like that, and you hear us talk about it a lot on the show here. You have got to fight for every point, and you cannot, if you make a mistake, you want to know what? Everybody makes mistakes. You can't check out of the game. You got to mentally stay in it, stay focused, and make that back up.
How many games have you once subscribed to that mentality of, like, just literally just staying in it?
Yeah, staying in it. I have stolen games from people because they're, in their mind, stomping me so bad that they're like, there's no way I could lose this game. And I caught them slipping, and they lost.
They're expecting you to quit. They're expecting you to be like, hey, man, you know what? I can't win. I'm not even going to try. Let's extend the hand.
Yep.
I've been on both sides of that, and I've seen Juice do this. Like, Juice never will concede. He's literally we're gonna roll every dice, and we're gonna see what happens. Because, if you're playing ATC format and you have a team and you score, say, 6 points in the last turn because you were paying attention and you're still playing, like, dude, you might have just won your team something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially in that format.
Oh, heck
right. Yeah. Let me just say, it's like in games where I'm not rolling well, I count on the fact that I'm going to make better decisions than my opponent.
That's good.
And
good
so
call.
even if the dice are not going my way, I'm going to make the best decision I can every single phase, every single round, every single move, and I might get a win despite the dice.
Yeah. That is basically, you are willing this game to your way. Like, I mean, and it takes a strong-willed individual to do that. I don't know if you guys have had this talk with some local players or anything else, but I really wish that I could fabricate the last 30 minutes of a tournament game and just play that over and over, right?
Yeah.
Like, how awesome would that be? Like, a lot of people, that's where games are won and lost at, everybody. Just so you know, anybody can start a game and play the first hour and say, shake hands and move on, let's do this again. But where you win and lose games, when that time is crunching down, where you're, like, sweating, like, what moves do I just don't even attempt because they're meaningless? You got to make that decision in 3 seconds, just so you don't waste more time. I really wish that there's a way that I could just fabricate the last 30, 45 minutes of a game. Like, it's really intense.
Oh, heck yeah. How many times have you seen guys cast psychic powers that cause perils, and the power is literally meaningless in that phase of the game? And they die, and I get a kill point, and I'm like running around the store like, like, you're an idiot. Like, come on, man.
I can't lie, I love when that happens. It does not happen very often with my opponents.
Yeah.
Brian's asking is, like, hey, let me ask you this: how valid do you think in a 1,000-point tournament or a 1,000-point list? How valid do you think a 220-point Grey Knight ally with a Psy Cannon, Terminator, Inquisitor with some Grey Knights is? 220 points.
We're talking straight strike squad with Psy Cannon and an Inquisitor, Terminator, Psy Cannon.
Something like that.
I'm not a big fan for this edition, and just they die if you shoot at them. Like.
Hey guys.
No, in an overall just 1,000-point tournament though. Yeah. So go ahead. We'll come back to this.
I want you guys to take a look. So the Land Raiders have been doing work this turn. We came into like a little bit of a tactical conundrum. We've been working the Lookout Sir shenanigans that we love. Just Lookout Sir with no prejudice. It has been clutch. Got down. I made him say, I want him to take this instant death wound last. Gets down to it. Drago's on his last wound. He's got a fresh paladin next to him, who's the only guy in range now. He was like, do I make you work for Drago with every bit of your Centaurians and possibly make a few more saves to save my dudes, or do I look outside this guy to the crappy armor save and possibly lose that guy?
I would take the Meltagun on Drago all day, every day.
I would. I'd dump it to the other guy because Warlord. I mean, Warlord's a factor. Drago's strength 10 is a factor.
Drago, remember, Drago's only AP3. He's meaningless to Centaurians in close combat.
No, every one you make is a dead Centurion.
Every one I roll is a dead Centaurian, correct.
That's all I'm saying. So I'm saying I dump it to the Fresh Paladin.
I said dump it to the Fresh Paladin for sure because I feel like Warlord's a factor, and I'm still going to shoot my Centaurians, and Drago's probably still going to die. It's just that, like, if he makes 3/3 up invulnerables before he dies, he saved, potentially 2 more Paladins.
Do you
all I'm saying is make you work for it. That's all I'm saying.
That seems like what we're saying. Make me work for it.
Do you still have a Psyker in that unit of Centurions?
He did 2 perils to Tigurius. Guess how many wounds Tigurius has?
He's got 3.
He's got 3, dog.
So does that not make Drago AP2?
No, it makes him strength 10.
No, strength 10, which is a factor, but it's not AP2.
So that's huge. That's terrible.
Yeah, and so basically, it's like you said, he second-guessed himself, and I feel like now he's right. He's correctly second-guessing himself. Moving back seemed to be the incorrect move. I'm able to capitalize on a mistake. It's like we talk about. Good 40K is you got to take advantage of every mistake your opponent makes too. You can't just play your game plan and know your rules. I have not been able to convert with my Land Raiders for 2 turns. I just kept coming in, just saying it's going to be fine, it's going to be fine. And now we see coming into the bottom of turn 3 that he should have gone more aggro. And it's like we say, a lot of people don't think about it. It's the last thing you think about is when you grab that relic, you can still charge a fool. And everyone gets caught up in the quote unquote, well, when you grab a relic, you're supposed to like pull back and keep the relic. So, lesson learned so far. Not saying that like he's going to drop the relic. Rob has a lot of scoring units and a lot of flyers that are still able to grab this relic, and I haven't even killed all the paladins, so it's not a thing. We're just saying, think about that.
Awesome.
We'll bring it back in a second, guys.
Yeah, when you have somebody who has a strong arm, like Drago or another beatstick unit, I think you do want to try to be as aggressive as you possibly can. And that includes sometimes taking the relic into the enemy deployment zone.
Can we see how many? See if I can see how many hammers Rob has left. I got 1, 2, 3. I see 2 on Apothecary and the banner.
Yeah, I see. So I'm looking at the side camera angle, or the gorilla cam, and I'm seeing 2 off to the right. And I feel like the Apothecary has 1, or does the Apothecary have a sword?
He has the sword to give him the better invul in combat.
Okay, so it's looking like he's got just the 2 then.
So that's something to think about too. When it might be a little too late to be aggressive with with those paladins, but we'll see. It's real close right now. So
who knows? Drago has got a 3-up invone.
He's got 1 wound left, correct?
Yep. Yeah, I feel like if to say like with the Centurion's about to shoot, I feel like Drago is dead no matter what. Just with the sheer number of firepower, it's just like what is going to be the best? What equation keeps everybody else alive the longest? And if Drago could stick that 3-up invone in the beginning, that will keep that paladin alive from being instant killed. And then looks like Drago just got picked up. And
right off the bat, dude.
And that looked like that was from the Centurions, if I'm not mistaken. I saw 3 dice rolled. So, I mean, hey, you want to know what?
Hey, Juice, I hear you talking about what just happened there. That was actually my last Land Raider. Only 1 side sponsor could see.
Oh,
Dropped. Wow. Just downloaded my 1 sponsor with Devastator protocol. I mean, Devastator banner. Did 5 wounds to him, and he was the only guy on range, and he died.
Oh no!
So it's even worse. Now the Centaurians get to open up.
Yeah.
But Centaurians already popped their tactical protocol. We have no prescience, nothing. We're just rolling off our ballistic skill right now.
Gotcha.
And I'll let you guys know like that's what's happening next. I'll let you guys know.
Thanks, guys.
That's pretty clutch.
Yeah, I've had that happen. To talk about that, I was at Feast of Blades. I played in their 1,500 point Forge World allowed everything tournament that they had, and I brought Drago 10 Paladins, or Drago 11 Paladins, and 3 Wraith Knights, or Dread Knights, excuse me. And I loved it. I thought it was a great army. I did pretty well. And yeah, I won a couple games, and in my 3rd game, the game that I lost, the guy shot, who knows, like 20 shots at me from a Warwalker squad, and the first 4 dice that I picked up was 4 1s.
Wow.
Drago died first blood 4-1. You know,
Oh.
that happens sometimes.
Well, it's a dice game. Yeah.
Yeah, you just got to shrug that off sometimes.
Oh.
Yep. Ed, I don't know if you're able to hear all that too, but the Centurions did not get the pleasure of being able to finish off Drago themselves. That went to the lucky Land Raider of the day, who has the strongest Hurricane bolters side sponsons ever. Justin, that's a great point. Justin right here, Troop, is putting in on tournament fatigue. By games 3 and 4, people just get tired. Their backs start hurting. You know, I'm 6'3", or 6'2.5". You know, so those small tables, man, they kill my back every time. Like I used to have to wear a back brace while I was playing. Now I have gotten used to playing with the bugs and the monstrous creatures and the small termagants and everything. So I've actually played against, back in 5th edition with my Blood Angels, I played against when massive, 200 model orc armies and battle wagons were in, and I pretty much knew in the 3rd round of most tournaments, if I played them, they were ready to check out. Like that style of army just weighs on you so heavy.
Absolutely. I train myself. I drink copious amounts of alcohol when I play tournaments just so that I'm ready. I don't get fatigued. I'm always the same level of awesome.
Yep.
You know,
So and also to go with that point on the fatigue, and depending on where you play tournaments at, you got somebody like Kenny. I love his style of lists for multiple reasons. A, they're super fun. They're in your face. They're just I love the style. But B, literally he carries one shoebox basically and fits all his models in. It's amazing. Like when you're talking about getting on a plane and you're moving around, you got luggage, everything else. So there's a lot that goes into a tournament season besides just actually the game of 40K itself.
Sure.
So
absolutely. Like this is literally 3 Land Raiders and like 4 or 5 units, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So
exactly.
It fits in a shoebox, like you said. I mean, that's a pretty neat thing for me to look at.
Mm-hmm. So back to the game real quick, Austin. Like I see there's still 3 Centurions left. I saw a couple get picked up. Now I'm wondering if those, or excuse me, I keep saying Centurions. I apologize, everybody. There's 3 Paladins left.
There's both hammers and the banner left.
So check out these rolls here. I don't know if you can see them.
This right here, like I unloaded with the Centurions. That's all Field of Pains.
Rob,
Wow.
I want you to know I'm fist bumping and everything, because sometimes you just got to roll 5s and 6s, baby.
I lost my apothecary.
But the apothecary made the bulk of those Field of Pains though, so it was pretty good. Extraordinary, was able to do some real good damage with my Hurricane bolters this time. Rob held it down with some clutch rolls, like what goes around comes around, and now he's about to bring on some flyers out of reserves. I think he's going to try to jam me up here and just kind of like reclaim the relic, and probably gonna lose my Psyker.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Is there any way, could you guys give us a measurement between the Paladins and the Centurions at this time? Like what kind of inches, so we can talk about that if that was even an idea, since we were about 14 inches?
It's roughly about 13.5, so you're talking
14.
You're talking
So it's 14 inches
range.
when you charge.
Word. I love when we used to have to guess measurements. I was pretty good at 40K then.
Fair enough.
Come on, man.
So that's an 8-inch charge.
We know it's an 8-inch charge, but he has a bunch of flyers coming in. Probably gonna lose my Gate of Infinity here. And like if you guys go to the Gorilla Cam, you'll just see this showdown shot. Like wounds have been had. You can see our tactical wound markers that we like to use to track these multi-wound squads, because it does become kind of an issue to track. But all in all, I failed to capitalize on Rob's hindsight 2020 maneuver. And I feel like he's about to come in hot, and I'm going to lose a lot of Centurions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, this is a clutch phase, so we'll see what happens.
There's actually the play of, well, never mind. The Storm Raven would have to go to hover mode, but I was going to say there could be a play where those Centurions or those Paladins there just hop in a Storm Raven after picking up that relic, but then it'd have to go into hover mode. But no, I'm excited to see what this next turn is, and I think that's a great point that you guys said. When some bad dice go one way, you can pretty much know in the next turn or two. Just know some good luck is coming back your way, and Rob proved that point to a T.
Absolutely.
Hi guys.
Yet,
Oh, hey, Paul.
what's happening? To fill you in there, so we the last Lamb Raider just picked up Drago. We there wasn't even needed the debate of should he take a Melt-A-Gun or wait with the Centurions. One random side sponsor just offed him. So that looked kind of bad with all the Centurions bearing down on the Paladins there, and Rob decided to make, I think it was 9 out of 11 feel no pains.
Yeah, he had 9 5-up rolls and 2 1s. That was it.
So it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I'd say it's a dice game going well. Like, come on.
I think that's actually statistics.
That's it's math, dog.
Math.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so we got the other 2 flyers. So this is the first Storm Raven coming on. There's also another Night Scythe coming. Interesting. Night Scythes are great for dumping
real
troops
quick,
late.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, Austin, but I
fine.
just wanted to give Sean a shout out. Say thanks for watching and sticking in. He's saying it's kind of late where he's at, the time difference, and he's going to check.
It's late where everybody's at.
That's true. And he's going to check the rest of us, the rest of the show out on YouTube. So appreciate it, man.
Thanks,
Sounds
dog.
good. Night, Sean.
Tigerius denied to a Hurricane Bolter. What's the galaxy coming to? Ed, I'm not sure, buddy. It's
Oh, looks like he dropped that Raven into hover mode,
Hover in the Raven.
so we can back up some.
He's making a play to get rid of those Centurions right now.
Moves. It's also worth stating that Rob has no Hurricane Bolters on these Storm Ravens, so 24 inches is what he needs to be in threat range. He's got a las cannon and a multi-melta, and then the missiles. That's it on these Ravens.
TPM, I'd like to get your input on something here. There was a predetermined measurement we had called for. There is a total of an 8-inch charge between the 3 Paladins that are on the ground to the Centurions.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
How do you feel about that? He's got both Ravens that just came on. There's still plenty of scoring units out there. I don't think you have to pick up the relic right now when those Centurions are right there. Do you think it's worth the gamble of the 8-inch charge?
No, I do. I think there's plenty of game left, so you want to get the charge.
Yep. Gotcha.
That's my opinion. I mean, Overwatch they can't do because it's still purposeful.
Yep.
Exactly. That's the big thing. And he has 2 hammers left, correct?
Yeah, there's still 2 hammers.
So he could wreck face on Centurions.
Yeah. He's got the 2 hammers and the banner, so he doesn't even need to cast the hammer hand because the banner automatically activates the force weapons.
Yeah, he doesn't need it. Yeah, it doesn't need to activate them.
Yep.
It does, however, cost the warp charge. He doesn't have a character in the unit, so that's the only thing he can do, correct?
Yeah, would either be to use those force weapons or to use the hammer hand.
So he's going to be at strength 8, but it's still strength 8. Come on, right?
Yeah, well, it's strength 8 instant death, where the paladins are only leadership 9. So where if he really tried to cast hammer hand, he could fail it or it leaves him up and in the air. Like all you gotta do is spread out 1 wound each.
You don't need the hammer hand. You just need the.
You need the banner.
Oh, exactly.
AP.
Yep.
And then let the banner do its work.
Yeah, I have test played against Grey Knights and Drago and 10 Paladins over and over and over. I mean, I must have played that game 20 games last year, 20 in a week at least, of every different angle that we could come up of. What happens when there's 7 Paladins with this configuration, 6 Paladins? I've shot and killed this. The one variable that never changed, if the banner was there, never assault them.
It's nuts, right?
Yeah, that banner is just way too good.
Oh, extra attacks and auto activate.
I love it. It's one of the best things you can buy in that codex.
Absolutely, it's one of the best banners in the game.
Yeah, Justin's asking why we do these so late. Well, we do it at 10 o'clock because basically, like, after, families have gone to sleep, whatever. So, get a little bit of man time.
Yeah, we got Sasquatch saying it's only 8 o'clock in full daylight up here where he's at.
I hear that. But yeah, Justin, there is a lot of work that goes into them. And especially in a night like this, normally I'm there playing, so I can speak on it. But man, like we are running. It's this level of how the guys have it set up right now is 2-3 hours just to get it to this level, plus the game and then plus the breakdown. So they got a lot of work. They're still got a long night ahead. So Austin, man, I want to make sure I know that people have said thank you for everything you do, and you do a great job. Austin's chilling in there, running in between the rooms, making sure everybody's good. So we got a good group here.
As we got a good point, let's get a count on the scoring units that Rob has left.
Sure, I'm sure these guys can hear us. They'll take a break here in a second. Let us know what's going on. How many scoring units we got for the table, quarters, and the relic?
There is actually, shy of the characters, there has been no units lost.
Hey, Pimps, Juice is right. We have not a lot of casualties. Rob has Solo Paladin just jumped out right here. He's going to try to just go hammerhand and kill all these dudes. He's got another Solo Paladin over here. He's got 2 nice eyes for scoring units, and these 3 Paladins still score. Now, I was going to add a question. For the table quarters, is it only scoring units, or is it just cumulative points in the table quarter?
It is cumulative points.
So what does a heavy support do for us in this mission?
Heavy support lets you claim the relic?
So if my Land Raider grabbed the relic, he would have it?
Yes.
Interesting. I don't think it's ever going to happen, but I like hearing that. Oh, another question. Can Night Scythe come on out of reserves, drop the dudes off on the relic and take it?
That is something you can currently do in the regular missions, so yes.
Okay. So that is what Rob is basically setting up to do that on turn 5. Right?
I'm not a fan of that tactic, but that is what can happen.
Go ahead and do it, Rob. Yes. Yes.
Giggity, giggity.
Okay.
As far as table quarters are controlled by victory point dominance in the area.
Absolutely.
Add up the points for all units in each table quarter.
Rob, real quick while we got on here, Christopher Morgan's like, it seems weird that Rob isn't here trolling Paul the whole time.
He's trolling him in spirit.
Yeah.
I can see the look on his face. I hate racket and trolling.
I can't hear anything. You hear anything?
I love you guys.
I don't hear anything.
All right, guys, I'll bring it back in here in a second.
Good luck to you guys.
Vitamin B12 is an excellent fatigue prevention process for a good tournament.
Yep.
Yes.
So is 5-hour energies and Red Bulls.
I stopped at a gas station today, and rock stars were $2 or $3.
Oh, get like 10 of them.
Man, I haven't had a cold rock star in a long time.
I don't think I've ever had a rock star.
And no, so why I say cold rock star is the 3 times that I've bought them at the gas stations that actually sell rock stars in our local area, the refrigerators do not work or they go down, so it is lukewarm.
The Rockstar cooler, lukewarm at all times.
Yep. So it's like awkward.
Oh man.
Question. I got something to bring up about 7th edition, guys.
Okay.
So we all know that there's this epic Perils of the Warp table coming, right? A lot like Fantasy, it's going to be catastrophic when you perils, I believe.
I hope so.
You're going to roll on some chart and crazy stuff's going to happen. Mind Strike missiles causing perils, is that not going to be game changing?
Oh man, that's a good point.
That's a great point.
This game in particular, Rob is dropping Mind Strike missiles all over the place. Could you imagine if catastrophic damage occurs from perils? It should be neat.
Oh man, that would be so cool if all of a sudden, because of a Mind Strike missile, Eldrad just blows up and just detemplates on top of his unit.
Right? Oh, it'd be so much fun. I'd be the happiest guy with Storm Ravens. Like Grey Knight Storm Ravens would be extra relevant.
Yeah,
Again.
I feel like if that does happen and all that plays that way, I feel like I am only going to play Unbound Armies, so I can play Grey Knight Storm Ravens with my Nids.
You could probably run 9 Storm Ravens. How's that feel? How do you feel?
I still feel that I win the aerial battle with my 8 flying. I don't know if you've heard this, Austin, or not, but my
I did 8.
eight flying high tyrants.
It's pretty neat, man. But I'm convinced that if you can't score and contest objectives, that Battleforge will still win.
I will table somebody. It's 96 strength 6 shots that are twin linked to turn.
All right, you're scared. All right, you guys. All right, so that's yours. Paul is gone for now. Paul, do you have any Paul, do you have any special
I just want to show off that I'm ready for this to happen.
Oh, hold on. He's got all the Ravens. We were talking about these, unbound armies. Paul, do you have any special favorites that you would like to try and kind of dive into?
Man, I've been really cautious about planning out that kind of thing because I want to see it first. But I really like what we're doing with the Death Company. I think if we get to have the cool allies, like getting like Azrael and a unit infiltrating Death Company with Cypher,
Fun, right?
I mean, that might be cool. Yeah.
I'm thinking of silly stuff, like maybe not the best, but like for me, we made a list. It was like 2 Guardian Blobs, 2 Farseers, and 9 Crimson Hunters. Literally just the Air Force. I want all the Air Force. It would be fun to see all those planes on a field.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm interested to see what the whole Vector Dancer and that kind of stuff does in this new edition, if that does anything special.
Oh, absolutely.
I love it when people use the Hold Me Closer Tiny Dancer. So we've
Hold
got...
Me Close, Tony Danza?
That's right. My thoughts exactly.
Who's the boss?
So, Rob, if you can hear us out there, Jake Shear says that, hot off the press, that the Ogren launcher, the race that puts the Ogren launcher together, is a race of catmen. And also, Rob, I want you to know you're getting a lot of love right now. AK Sasquatch noticed that TPM left his seat for literally 3.5 seconds.
I was frozen with Storm Ravens.
And he is screaming at you to activate Brittany mode right now.
That's so good, man. Wow. Rob, Brittany at heart. We got Ed is saying that he's hoping for a demonic possession on the perils chart. That would actually kind of be neat. Like, think of a herald showing up or...
That stuff is so difficult to actually have rules-wise in the game. Like, how do you balance that?
Sure. I mean, it's all speculation. I don't think that's going to happen, but
I would like it to be like you take wounds automatically. So that gives people like Mephiston an advantage. Well,
be prepared. If you look at the fantasy.
Hey
guys, you there?
It's the Brittany show.
Okay, so we haven't finished the turn yet, but he has silenced my lead Land Raider with my Banner of Devastation.
Ooh.
Guy has been spilled out in front. He failed the 8-inch charge, but he came in hot with the single Sullivan. Dude just got Hammerhand off. He's strength 10 right now. I have a few attacks to try to hurt him, futilely.
Oh, all my they're mastercrafted. All the hammers.
Right. So basically, I'm coming in, which is like I was gonna walk you guys through this assault since it's something that we hyped up. How I'm actually super nervous about this one paladin. Instant killing all my Centaurians.
This could be awkward.
So I'm gonna roll some dice right now.
So I have 4 attacks, and they all miss. So now the Centaurian goes the same time as my my Tech Marine.
And he's mastercrafted, so he rerolls 1, right?
So 2 hits, 3 hits.
Oh.
2 wounds. So power field generator saves on my paladins. Closest one with a wound is alive. Same guy. He dies. So it could have been worse. I've got 1 power fist attack coming back at him. I hit. Uh-oh. I might actually kill him in return. I do, actually. I didn't expect that.
Who has a power fist?
Yeah, who's the power fist?
Tech Marine with a servo arm.
see if I give you this dude right here.
Unfortunately, my Tech Marine comes standard with a Power Fist.
Yeah, it does for sure.
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
see a Tech Marine there.
Yeah, I didn't even realize you had a Tech Marine there.
Yeah, that's for the Power Field Generator.
Awesome.
So I actually didn't expect it to go that well for me. I thought I was going to lose like 2 or 3. But we did hype it up, so I felt like we needed to show you how that goes down. The dudes are going to break free. Oh, he did kill Tigerius, by the way.
I see that. That's pretty clutch.
Tigerius did get handled, unfortunately.
It's another Psyker down.
Yep. So I'm losing the Psychic. Well, actually, I guess I just tied the Psychic War. I lost 2 Psychers. He lost a Psychic Communion unit. A Psychic Brotherhood of Psyker unit, and I killed
Drago.
So we're locking it down. I don't feel like I'm gonna be able to take this relic, so I don't think I'm gonna commit to it too hard. He is like pulling his flyers into a position that he's gonna jam me up. He's already blown up one of my Land Raiders. I just don't think I can get to it before he gets to it, and it's in turn 5 is coming up. So I think I'm gonna really start focusing on how I can win the Psyker objective and the Table Quarters objective.
Awesome.
Gotcha.
All right, I'll bring you guys back in a second.
Cool.
Awesome.
Pretty clutch stuff there. Obviously, it's a dice game. He could have easily rolled his invul and stayed there and destroyed things, but it is what it is.
Man, we did all that talk about, can you move more than 6 when the relic or whatever in the assault phase? I even spelled out in the mission that you cannot.
Oh, that was perfect. You literally grabbed on Eldar jet bikes.
Yeah, this includes all phases of the game, including assault and consolidation.
That's good. Top of my head, you guys remember what we were talking about before the break there?
No, but I guess the panelists here, we weren't the only ones that didn't realize there was a Tech Marine. Ed was like, huh? Who has a Power Fist? I'm sitting over here scratching my head
wait a second. I know they look like they have Power Fist, but they do not.
Yeah, I was like, man, where did that upgrade come from, and why didn't I know about this before?
In this list, Kenny actually put 2 Power Field Generators in it just for backup, I think. And it happened to be that there's this Tech Marine with this big fist,
Yeah. So there's actually this is something I guess we should talk about. I guess a Tech Marine should actually get 2 attacks with the Power Fist, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
It's been fact to in some way. I don't want to give you the ruling, but it's been fact.
Okay.
Let's jump on. Bram actually asked a question. He's like, I see you guys painted the Storm Raven canopies blue. Is there a particular reason beyond the simple stylistic choice? The actual artistic reason is because what you've got with a painted surface with reflection of light is different than what you've got on a non-painted surface. So artistically, if you want to have everything look consistent, you paint the canopy of the Raven because you want to have a consistent surface across the whole object, so light behaves the same way across the whole object. If that makes any sense. Me personally, as a non-artistic just gamer, I like the non-painted canopy, but I have certainly painted canopies in the past because it does just look better on the model.
That's a good point. I never even thought about it that way.
So
awesome.
That's what hanging out with actual pro painters and artists gives you.
That's what you get, man. These guys are the real deal.
Yep.
Yeah.
Brian here is saying he can't wait to make a trip to FTW for one of the tournaments. Speaking of, there's actually SpikeyCon coming up. That is June 13th and 14th.
Yes, sir.
So, check that out. And I apologize, I might have overspoke. It is the Saturday. I don't think that it's a 2-day event. TPM or Austin, do you guys know if it is?
It's not a 2-day event. It starts at 8 p.m. though, so it extends into the next day.
Gotcha.
But that's more circumstantial.
That's true. So it is a long time. It is that weekend. We have a ton of events. If you guys are interested, we have 40K tournament at night. We have a bunch of demos. If you guys are interested in other games, it's actually going to be pretty neat, pretty fun. So you definitely come check it out. That's my plug.
There you go. Justin, just so you know, Rob was able to pick up first blood with the librarian on a bike.
Yep, mine striked him out of existence, I believe, with 4 missiles. Just gone.
Mark
Yeah,
Eldar.
this is clutch.
And this is an example of a painted canopy. You can see it's all consistent surface-wise as far as the light goes. So it looks more like a cartoon, obviously.
But it looks good.
But that's a painted model. I mean, that's what you want to see in like a when you're going for that look. Does that make any sense? Let me
Yes,
go grab
sir.
one of my Eldar that doesn't have a painted canopy.
Sure. I think a lot of people like painted canopies because they don't have to paint the little pilot inside. You know what I'm saying? It's another thing. Yep.
Sorry about that, Austin. I didn't realize that I was muted whenever I got up. Yeah, no, I agree. Needless to say, I don't paint that much. All my NIDs I've painted, everything else. But whenever I've had the opportunity to try to paint a Storm Raven, needless to say, I even messed up and put too much glue on the little areas around the clearness. So went from clear to a fogged out.
Oh, absolutely. That's literally just the speed glue, I call that.
Well, let's check out TPM here. What you got?
So here is an Eldar thing without the canopy painted. Now you can clearly see how the light behaves differently on the painted surface than it does. But I mean, you can see the dudes. I mean, maybe not in this camera angle with the detail or whatever, but you can see what I'm talking about with the light and how it behaves differently.
Yep.
So as an artist, it's not necessarily they're choosing not to do the work of painting the inside of the canopy. It's because they just want a different look on their model.
I think it works both ways. I think it's a preference.
Yeah, certainly is a preference. But
man, is that the cool Forge World Wave Serpents?
Yeah. This is the original Wave Serpent.
That's the attachment to show you where the shield actually fires from.
It does, yeah.
Which I like because a lot of people
no exploits here. No.
But the 45-degree angle from the shield is a big argument.
Yes, it is. Y'all go about what you're talking about. I put my toys away.
I dig your toys, man.
Thank you.
Pretty cool.
Austin, Jake Shearer needs to know what you look like. You have not been in some photos there, so maybe sometime we'll get you to run in and give it a peek.
Absolutely.
He is a gorgeous man.
Thank you so much. Whenever I need to make an appearance, you guys just let me know.
That's right.
I'll put my head in the camera view. I don't know if any of the guys on this witnessed one of the Battlecasts, a couple months ago. I actually was running one of the cameras and snuck into the camera view a couple times. But,
I remember that, Austin. You got your big old butt in that frame.
Yeah, that was actually a good point. You were running the camera while on my first Battlecast with the NIDs versus Kenny's Flying MCs.
Yes, sir. This camera angle that we have right now is called our rover cam. I was manning it, but
you were the rover. Yeah. You were the rover.
It's actually working out better now. The players get to choose their camera angles. It's working out great.
So, guys, we just finished turn 4. We're about to start turn 5. He hovered down with this Storm Raven to kill my Land Raider. Came out with 4 melta guns. I hit it with 2 multi-meltas and 2 assault cannons. Just nothing. Could not touch it. Storm Raven is living the dream right now. We were able to destroy all the paladins, the survivors. So we picked up that Brotherhood of Psyker. So we have the 3. So basically, he can't take that from me now. I have no more Psykers. But I started spreading my Land Raiders out, like you see here, because each one of my Land Raiders is 300 points. One of them has a full tactical squad of them. The other one has 5 scouts in them with camo cloaks. So each one of them represents well over 300 points of table quarter presence.
Yes.
And my command squad is 220 points, and I kind of put it in the middle so it can go left or it can go right as needed. So and my Centaurians is if they hold out, they represent a substantial amount of points too. So I'm really playing that that Rob informs me this coming in, they're not going to hold out.
This breaking news. I don't think they're gonna make it, dog.
So he doesn't. So he has marked the Centaurians.
For death.
So I'm just like giving you a rundown of my play. That whole move was basically, I don't think I can get to that relic in time. I don't want to be out of position for the other objectives. If he gets it, he gets it. At least I'll have the secondary and the tertiary, assuming the game ends on turn 5. If the game doesn't end on turn 5, he'll be super out of position, and I'll be able to take it back.
Gotcha.
Sounds good.
Does that sound good? Does that sound like a reasonable plan of attack?
Sounds awesome.
I think y'all are making good decisions.
Word up. Rob's about to bring the heat. Let you guys know what happens.
You guys are looking pretty good on time. It looks like there'd be in a tournament about 15, 20 minutes left.
Okay.
Guys, right off the bat, I've got a couple things I want to say about just 6th edition and two dice rolls that really just changed the game for me. Is obviously to start the game, seize the initiative. I don't know how you guys feel about that. Literally taking the first turn from your opponent is huge. And then also the dice roll to see if the game ends on turn 5. It's not a fixed turn, like a 1 or 2 it ends, and it literally blows my mind because you get out of position so well just from being seized on.
I'm not a fan of random game length.
Oh, right? I'm the same way.
I'm more of a fan, but not still a great fan of seizing initiative.
I don't think it's. Oh, it's tough, man.
I would like to see both of them gone. I'm okay with it.
Yeah. Since Jake's on, I'm gonna show off my Stern Guard a minute because I didn't get to find him. I didn't want the cat show to take over.
Oh, let me get you. Hold on. Here you go. Here, let's folks.
Me on camera.
There he is. There he is.
Oh,
got him.
Oh yeah.
What a stud. Where's his gun at?
They're all magnetized. I don't even see the Well, it's gonna be difficult to see them, but magnetized.
I believe you.
Yep. To be
whatever you want.
Yeah, all combi. I got all the combis and stuff. But that's my Blood Angel Stern Guard, who will be my. Let me show you off one more or whatever while I'm here. But if they ever go back to a more regular just Codex Marine style, I'll do all these for all my Bolter Marines also.
Oh, now I believe it might be coming. So I'm excited just for the fact that lots of things can score and lots of things can score objectives, and so you might start seeing more of the old stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree.
More units the better, perhaps.
Yep. When people are able to play what they want to play instead of what basically the meta tells them they have to play, I think you're doing something right. I know we mentioned that like a couple hours ago, but I really believe it.
That's cool. You got some good feedback already from awesome Stern Guard from Jake here.
Nice. Actually, it's probably the best unit I've ever painted. I know it's difficult to see on this camera when we've got all the compression and stuff, but I mean I'm really happy with how the unit turned out.
I'm gonna have to break in here, and I know Rob might be listening or he might not, but everybody, Jake also says he wants to make a Britney Spears Greater Demon of Slaanesh. We gotta put that plug in.
Yeah, why not?
That would be neat.
There was a time when you probably could have mistaken her for Demon of Slaanesh.
You stole that from me.
It's been taken over by Miley Cyrus, but still a thing.
So I would have to agree that I don't know. I think a play should be made to make sure that the Centurions die right now. I don't know what you guys think about that. I think that maybe this last solo paladin plus a bunch of rapid fire shooting and everything else, ultimately for the game to be won just with the relic, I feel like those Centurions has to die.
I mean, just so everyone knows, Forge the Narrative missions, this is an 18-point relic. Like, don't forget that. Like,
it's significant. You get the relic, you're probably winning the mission.
It's good. It's very good.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still. I mean, there are other points to be had.
A lot, yeah. First Blood, Linebreaker, Slay the Warlord, tertiary, secondaries. I mean, there's
33 points, I think, max in this mission type, but
there is.
18 go to the relic. So this relic weighs heavy on your heart when you're playing. Like
well, the primaries in each one of the missions are designed to be true primaries, to where you have to fight for them, or you make it to where you're going to win it, or make it impossible for your opponent to win it. Fine if you draw it, but whoever wins it is going to be at an advantage during the game, and I think that's what a primary mission should be.
Oh, I agree. I love the new Forge the Narrative missions. I know you guys are working on, I think, 5 and 6. Am I right?
Yes.
So I know it's a work in progress, and definitely with 7th coming out, I know some of your thunder might be stolen by some GW
Well, it's
guys.
just one of those things. It's like, I just don't want to. Yes, but whatever. Again, if I can contribute to the overall communal fun of the game, all about it. That's why we did this in the first place.
Absolutely.
And if they want to, if we've either come to the same conclusions, in completely different camps, or they've looked at it and go, "That's a good idea," I'm absolutely fine with that too.
But we had our first tournament with Forge the Narrative rules here at FTW Games in Midlothian, Virginia, and it was a blast. Like, everybody had a great time with the progressive scoring missions and this new relic mission. It actually worked out pretty good for a tournament setting too.
That's really good to hear. These missions have been played in 3 continents around the world in multiple tournaments in multiple rounds. And actually, I hung out with a guy who also creates missions. He's like, "Well, why do you think that makes your missions better?" And he was being slightly sarcastic, and I don't blame him or whatever. What I said was, it doesn't make them better. It means that I've gotten more feedback, so exactly. I know how to make them better. It's like, I'm not saying that mine are any better than anyone else's. I'm just saying that we've gotten a lot of feedback from players.
Oh, absolutely. You're hitting all the key points and the things that I think were missing from the objectives that were being played on a normal basis. So you're having different games. Like, for me, literally, I had to change some of my lists to score more progressively. Like, you have to have more units on the field turn 2 to score these progressive missions, which made it's a completely different game. You can't just storm out with Eldar jet bikes turn 5 and expect to win anymore,
Yeah, and I hear you. And all we want to do is inject competitiveness and a less linear path to victory with list design, and that's what we've accomplished. In all the different cultures that have now played these missions, I mean, just hearing it, I'm not saying it's all been a bunch of rainbows and stuff. I'm saying, but
Sure.
the feedback, literal feedback that we've gotten from everyone around the world has been great to make a better, fun mission in product, and that's what we're going to immediately transfer all the intent behind that feedback when we do these rewrites for 7th edition. I can't wait to get my hands on it.
Oh, absolutely. Me too. I'm going to sit down with that book and baby it for definitely a few days and see how these new missions kind of change the game, make them a little more fun, a little more tactical, a little more challenging to score these things, and I think it should be fun. I'm definitely excited about this new edition.
Yep, and Brian brought up a good point. It's like, hey, I had this unit that I really wanted to be a little bit better in the next edition. I hope it is too. I hope these units that look good on paper in the codexes, that haven't necessarily translated into awesome playability during the game, get to be seen. Like, when's the last time you've seen a competitive land speeder?
Right. Only in Apocalypse, and that's going to be honest. That's the last time I saw it.
Yeah, I mean, we could go through like almost every codex and they have those. Like, I really hope that somewhere along the line that I can run a Trigon again.
Yeah, let's get down to just the
Ravengers.
basics. When's the last time you've seen a competitive Devastator squad, like a real competitive?
No, I haven't seen one.
So Paul, you bring up a great point, man. Like, when a lot of people were coming strong with the hate for the NIDS, and they're like, "Oh, this unit is horrible. This unit's horrible." I was like, "Hey, man, like, let's look at it. When was the last time you saw assault Terminators? Right? Like, when was the last time that you've seen, Vanguards?
Yeah, I agree with you on the Vanguard.
Like, there's Vespids for Tau.
Yeah, right.
Like,
I've never actually seen those on the tabletop.
Yeah, so like,
Maybe,
okay, cool.
maybe 4th edition.
Yeah, and that's probably because a guy had some and he painted them really well, and he liked the theme of them, Like, but so every unit in 40K is not good. Every unit, there's obviously some are better than others. So I hope that the addition isn't what's keeping some of these things from being bad.
Yeah, I hear you. You want the rules to open it up.
Yeah.
Talking about bugs, like, definitely, Juice, I know you love the bugs, man.
Mm-hmm.
All about the bugs, making them work. This new edition, like, what do you think Perils of the Warp is going to become? Like, with this dice pool that we're rolling against each other, like I'm pretty sure Perils is going to be pretty freaking awesome. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you mean Shadows in the Warp?
Excuse me. Yes, exactly what I mean.
Yeah.
Shadows in
Yeah,
the Warp,
so
like should be great.
I am so interested in
Guys,
how that.
hang on one second.
Yeah.
I gotta bring us back to some questions. Ed says, "Can we get a camera view of the camera on the ceiling? I'd like to see what sort of Bush League method you use to suspend that thing over the tabletop." I'm gonna let Austin describe what it is, but we have
All
used certain things like blue tack, twine, duct tape. These are all things we did here in my place.
All right, so I'm gonna tell you straight up, guys. This is a real high tech. It actually has like a clamp on the camera, and I got up with the ladder, opened the ceiling tile, and clamped it on the the tile. Like literally, it's just sitting on the grid, the ceiling grid on the ceiling. And we take our 10 minutes to center this, focus it out, and that's what we're doing here with this camera view.
I respect that. We do whatever it takes.
Yeah, there is no double bubble extra chew holding the camera to the ceiling.
I wish that would be more epic.
My rafters were exposed to the first one we ever did, and we had twine loop through. We poked a hole in the rafter to loop the twine through to get the proper angle on the table. And we're adjusting the twine.
So good.
Yeah, talk about. I mean, it was Bush League, but we did it. So that was Halloween. I think it was our first one.
Yep.
All right, back to that. Sorry for the wrong wording there, Juice. But Shadows in the Warp.
Yeah, I cannot wait to see what they do to it, especially with the the display pool or the dispel pool of dice, because is the leadership aspect still going to be involved, since you're actually not casting on psychic abilities, won't be going off leadership base anymore. It will be going off your psychic ability, or like what psychic rating you are, how many dice you get to do. So there's a whole lot of stuff. So with that, just to kind of use that as a segue, not to disturb away from that point at all, but I feel like some of these psychers with low leadership just got better.
Oh, absolutely. The big thing, like, we're not gonna know till the rules drop, like, and I'm not even positive. Kenny made a point earlier when we were talking, like, if they don't drop this new edition with a set of FAQs to update these rules in these books, like, we might have a problem, but I'm pretty sure that they're going to explain everything they need to explain. I think they're pretty smart.
Real quick, I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but the last Centurion just came off the board.
Clutch.
Lauren's asking if we use the Skies of Death rules for the dogfighting. We do not use them typically. At least I don't, and we don't use them in our games here.
Mm-mm.
I haven't used them either. And even casual games I play here.
Yeah, and Justin, our first one was that Halloween one. We kind of got the idea, is like, let's just see if we can pull this off.
There was no alcohol involved, and there was pirate outfits.
Pirate Hall.
There was alcohol involved. But there were also pirate outfits.
Speaking of alcohol, Paul, I don't know if you told everybody earlier, does that still taste like a Dr. Pepper?
It does. It really does. Like, I bet if I put like a drop of vanilla in here, it'd be basically exactly like Dr. Pepper. And I would be completely smashed at this point.
Top of your head. How many flavors does Dr. Pepper have?
Oh, man. But yeah, it's good stuff. I definitely endorse this product. Not from a podcast or a videocast perspective, personally, though.
Just as the sheer consumer.
Yep.
So these guys are they're in crunch mode now.
William's saying that when he plays these missions, he does it from a progressive scoring perspective. And I think that I think that if you want to have a legitimate tournament where people actually take it seriously and you get people kind of buying into your mentality, you should publish the missions ahead of time and allow people to make their armies that are conducive to the type of tournament you want to run. I'm not saying it's wrong not to do that. I'm just saying that if you want people to be really invested, like emotionally invested into your tournaments, you should. And so these missions were written to kind of be run almost linear in a linear fashion, to where you do play 1, 2, and 3 and more, whatever, mix them up however you want. The next evolution we were thinking about doing that, since we named every single one of the objectives, was to allow someone to pick and choose which objectives they wanted to build their own missions from, and just declare which one is the primary. Does that make any sense to you guys?
I do.
Juicy?
Absolutely. Yeah. There's actually I was playing another game in the shop which had similar dynamics, and that also is something else that would absolutely change the game, and you actually have to think again and build your list to play that type of game, which is another reason I like this game. Like, you should be able to use your mind to win games. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, for sure.
But what I love, and Paul, you've definitely taken the stance from the beginning, is like the TPN missions are not a set in stone ordeal. It's like, yo, if you think that these missions are best suited for your local area as battle points or as win-loss, they are flexible to do whatever you want. So if you want to run them all as progression missions, then yo, do that. They are flexible enough to be able to do all aspects of it.
Exactly right. Like, one of the things that kind of got put on hold when 7th edition became like a real thing was the whole idea I was going to put out a document that allowed you to really just explain that. If you want to run these as binary, to basically like where the primary, tertiary, or secondary and tertiary are all basically a point, and whoever has 3 points at the end wins or whatever, your choice, man. This is not about telling you how to play the game. It's all about letting you do whatever you want.
Options, dog. Options.
Yeah, all we want to do is create a fun environment.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you've done a good job with that. And 7th edition is not overshadowing what these Forge the Narrative missions are doing. I think they're still going to be viable in the new edition as well.
Oh man, Lauren is calling in our devotion to Sanguinus because we don't embrace the dogfighting out of the skies of blood. Look,
Ooh.
You know what? I can't say you're wrong. But those additional rules just haven't been embraced in the area that I play in, so that's why I haven't put.
Lauren, I just want you to know that my flying monstrous creatures always dogfight everybody.
But if we were in the same place and you said that, we might get down to a thumb war.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying. It'd be like 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yep, I do.
It's going down.
My flying MCs always Victor strike everybody, so we like to throw down. But no, to be honest, I have not once ever played with that's rule set yet. I don't know if either one of you guys have.
I have not either.
But I feel ignorant in the fact that I don't even know the difference in rulings of what they use versus. So Lauren, if you don't mind, if you kind of type up a little, what the biggest differences are.
Yeah, I'd love to
like
talk
Snoopy
about it.
versus the Red Baron.
Yeah. Just send me a video. I'll understand.
You guys are too young to remember Snoopy versus the Red Baron.
I definitely watched Snoopy. He did not fight the Red Baron.
You did fight the Red Baron. Snoopy
I'm just
fought
kidding.
the Red Baron.
Somebody
back me up out there in the comments.
About the Red Baron and Snoopy?
Yes.
Oh, I'm lost with words. No words.
I understand that you are both young and do not have any idea what I'm talking
about. I don't think Juice is young.
I am. I actually just turned 22. You can't tell by my face right now. Look how young this face is with no facial hair.
I'm looking at it. I don't know if I forget how old you actually are, Mr. 4.
Yeah, I will be 29 this year in December.
Yeah, you're not young.
Yeah, you do seem ancient. I agree.
Yeah.
I remember Snoopy versus the Red Baron.
Thank you. Thank you. Or somebody.
I'm only 23.
Could you just one time kick it?
So guys, I want to bring you back in because we're pretty much in the bottom turn 5, just trying to make decisions. Rob, he basically moved enough points in here to take this from me. Like, I have a full tactical squad in this Land Raider. It's like it's 465 total. He brought in like 495 worth of points. So but my tech marine fled, rallied. I sent him over to this quarter, so that added like 90 points to it. So I now have more points in this quarter than he does. I have like 400 points in this quarter, my command squad's kind of just hovering in the middle. We don't know what to do yet. Probably gonna try to kill one of these in case the game goes on. I feel like he did take his overlord out of this night scythe and he dropped on the relic. They have the relic. He's got 5 warriors with an overlord with like a 2+ save, and they have resi orbs. So like obviously I have to shoot all my bolters at it to see if I can kill all the dudes. But like obviously his lord is the one holding it. So I have to grind through all the dudes and the 3 2+ saves of the overlord.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough one.
Yeah, good luck with this.
So like so if I do that, he doesn't get the relic. So basically I'm gonna roll a bunch of dice here. I'll let you guys watch on this, and then I'll let you guys know if I did or not.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Cool.
And then thank goodness that the comments erupted with a support for Snoopy versus the Red Baron. That's all I can say. Yeah,
Rob was getting backed in the corner of like, I swear I've seen this. I know this exists.
you pups go check out the link that Ed posted. Yes, they even had a song about it, and it's an awesome song. In addition to that, they had a Christmas song that came out after this one.
I need to educate myself on these dogfights.
Snoopy versus the Red Baron was the real deal.
Oh, I'm sure in my lifetime I've seen the cartoon with Snoopy fighting the Red Baron, but not in real time for sure.
This is your assignment. Before the next Battlecast, you must know everything there is to know about Snoopy versus the Red Baron.
Oh man, I'm done. Got you, dog.
I'm gonna jump into the Matrix and learn it all
Nice.
tonight. Yes. So to plug something else, I cannot wait for ATC and MurphCon.
Man, it's gonna be off the chain.
Yeah, so look, guys, everybody who's tuning in tonight, so we got all kind of ideas swirling around for MurphCon, but we're thinking about having the commissioner bat phone going on to have it and putting my cell phone number out there and having you guys, instead of typing in and doing else, give us a call, a shout out. We'll put you on speakerphone. We're going to have a mobile cam walking around the house, doing interviews, checking out all the dope food that What's for Lunch is going to put on. I mean, it's going to be fresh, man. Like, I cannot wait for the whole experience.
Yeah, last year we had probably 40 people here during the day, during the main part of it.
Yep.
Can you have 41?
We could have 41. Yeah, and
Wingfield might make an appearance.
nice. And then towards the end of the night, it was that's when the North Carolina crew rolled in.
And let's not understatement, let's not underplay that. Towards the end, it was 3 a.m. The night was dead. Everybody was asleep.
I'd probably gone to bed about 2:45.
Yep. I mean, it was the night was gone.
And then Kenny texted me, he's like, "They're about to be here." I'm like, "I guess I better roll back down."
Yep. And it was on like Donkey Kong for a couple hours. It all ramped back up again. And it was a blast. There was 3 or 4 different teams, maybe even 4 or 5 different teams.
Yep.
That were all represented there. So yeah, it's gonna be a fun time.
Then we all convoyed up to the event the next morning.
And then now, is it confirmed the event is a lot closer to the Merv compound?
It's about 45 minutes closer. Yeah.
Chattanooga?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Is that how you say it?
Chattanooga, yeah.
I said it kind of right.
It's probably going to take about an hour and 10 minutes to get there.
So that sounds way better than where I'm at.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to take a little bit longer for you to get there, to here, and then you get there.
Yeah, well, whatever.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, come down when Rob comes down. It is. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna have multiple cameras going, multiple tables up and going if people want to. We will have the hotline like Juice is talking about going. It's gonna be food, fun. A bunch of people hanging out, nerding out, playing the Warhams. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, 100%. So Lauren gave us some clarifications on this dogfighting stuff here. So it says, will you declare a dogfight attempt in the movement phase against a enemy flyer within 12 inches? 1 per turn. Each player rolls 1 dice and then the activated player gets a bonus 1 dice, a bonus 1 for each enemy in the front arc. I'm sorry that it moved there for a second. Each enemy in the front arc. You enter the dogfight if the activated player rolls higher.
So what benefits did they give you? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I still don't know what happens when you are in a dogfight. Like, what actually happens? Do you just are locked in with each other? Do you have different bonuses to fight each other?
Hey, guys.
Yep.
You guys there? So, brought that stupid overlord down to his last wound. Did not kill him. Every living bastard brought 2 of his dudes back to life. Still staying objective. Could not kill this Storm Raven. Shot it with 4 melted bombs. Charged it with melted bombs. Like, just nothing. I think I've done 1 whole point, and it's currently can't move or shoot.
Oh yeah, it's fine.
And, so we're now at the bottom of turn 5. How many minutes do we have left? If we have any left.
The time would be called by now.
Okay, so the time would be called then. That's it. That's what it is. We made it to turn 5.
Awesome.
Good. Score it up. Let's see what's going on.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna tell you what, Kenny. Those Storm Ravens, dude, just did not want to die this game.
I could not.
Imagining the new rules.
Oh my gracious.
Right?
Yeah.
That was brutal, man. I mean, I had so many opportunities. They just did not care.
Yep.
They were amazing. So I guess if we scored up, he has the relic.
That's 18 points.
I am owning 2 quarters. He is owning 2 quarters.
So we
That's
timed
4 points each.
So 4 points each. I have Linebreaker. He has First Blood. We both have Warlord.
So
Is
it's
that
3 points each. So
You gotta be.
Well, that's 2 and 2 and 1.
Yes, obviously.
Okay.
oh yeah, I'm sorry. 2 points and 3 points. So as of right now, Kenny has 7 points, and Paul has.
That's Rob.
Excuse me, and Rob has 18, 4, and 2. So 24 to 7 as of right now. And then who's got the tertiary?
I have the tertiary.
Psychers, so that's +4.
Yeah, so 21 to 23.
21
correct?
to like a
Well,
no.
So
I don't think that's right.
No.
7,
So
8,
that's
9,
right,
10. It's
tertiary.
11. So it's 24 to 11.
Yeah, 24-11 sounds better.
Yeah,
sounds more accurate.
I
Sounds a lot
apologize. I apologize. That's what I was thinking.
better.
Yeah, I was about to say I didn't think that was accurate.
Little slingshot engaged.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, like a really fun matchup. The Storm Ravens proved to be just so hard to deal with. The Land Raiders came back and started doing the damage they were supposed to do. Rob was had some bad rolls in some places. He did not have bad rolls in the 2-up saves department. Kind of similar to me. Like I had some really good 4+ vulnerable saves. Like just kind of what goes around comes around. Could not grind through his 2-up saves fast enough. But the Storm Ravens, honestly, they were just too much. Like being able to put like 400 points into a quarter at the last second, being able to just shoot things and harass things, blow up a Land Raider, block. He was using the jam the lane, so I couldn't keep moving my Land Raiders unless I cleared them. So basically, I'm in these awkward positions where it's like, do I move flat out under it and not shoot anything and be out of position for my powerful generators? Like he was just making me make all these decisions. Hammer and Anvil, his army functioned better, I think, in Hammer and Anvil than mine. Obviously, he had far more maneuverability.
What do you guys think of the overall mission and how it played out, and like your decisions you had to make during the course of the game?
I think it's the best way to run a relic. Like, I mean, I was very happy with it, even though
Being able to claim it on the first turn is kind of silly.
Yep. And you even put in there, you can't claim it in the first turn. Plus, it shouldn't be possible most of the time because we're playing Hammer and Anvil, man.
Yeah.
Which I like that.
Yeah, so I can definitely tell just from playing against you a lot, Kenny, that those Storm Ravens definitely played a factor because you still got basically all your Land Raiders back towards your deployment zone. Normally, I know how you like, you will get mid-board, you'll do things like take over mid-board and things like that. So those lanes definitely got plugged up pretty quick.
They did. Plugged them up. I felt like the mission was very balanced.
It's true.
I enjoyed it. Like, one of the major weaknesses of my army is definitely like flyers, and Rob this is like one of his granite armies, man, and it's just I didn't feel like I was outmatched, but I did feel like, I would need things to go my way.
I think it felt like the game played out really well. There was a couple of clutch situations to where it took an extra turn to do this, it took an extra turn to do that, or this turn didn't play out, and that's that's how you want to lose a game.
Yeah. Basically, like the more turns in a row that I have to spend on the same task, the more unlikely it is I'm going to complete that task.
Yep.
But so I don't know if you guys felt the same way, but it was cool to hear you say like the relic might be dead to me, but you want to know what? I'm gonna do my best to get the secondary and tertiary.
Absolutely.
Sometimes you just gotta know when.
A couple of things came into effect. Like tournaments, we're almost out of time. It would take me turn 7 just to get to the relic, or turn 6 to get to the relic. But then I would have to suffer all the shooting another turn with my sensitive scouts or my tacticals. My Land Raider can barrel through onto it.
You said sensitive scouts.
Yeah,
they just can't take bad news well.
They're sensitive guys.
They don't do well in the sun. What are they?
They sparkle.
They can. I'd like to say, there's no kill points in this type of mission, correct?
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
So I was curious, like dumping troops out of these Land Raiders earlier on just to cause wounds. Like even if you die, it doesn't mean that much.
No, it's true. It doesn't mean that much, but as you can see, like I needed the guys in this Land Raider plus stuff just to have this core.
Yeah, he had done that.
You know what I mean? Like,
so adding up points is definitely a big thing.
That was my major factor in keeping guys on board. I was like, you know what? A couple more bolter shots ain't gonna do much to certain things.
Clutch. I got you.
I'm gonna go. I know I need these guys to live so I can take these quarters. Like,
cool.
I mean, I did all the wounds under the sun to this unit. It's just sometimes you don't feel 2+ saves, and that's why we take 2+ saves. Like that's why it's a war gear upgrade. Like every time I see Artificer armor for 20 points, I'm like, yeah, that's mine.
We could have just put that into the base cost. It's going down.
Can I also get some spiky bits? And
a
combat familiar.
That used to be the stuff.
Yeah, I want to reroll. Mastercraft Spiky Bits. Let's do that.
Well, guys, so how do you feel like all the primary, tertiary, and secondary objectives worked well with each other?
I think it was a good flow.
I liked it. It made me think the whole time. I always felt like I was in the game, even though I, knew I couldn't win the primary. So it wasn't like I was depressed the whole game, like I couldn't win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I like that. I like that there's a reason to keep going. If
it went down to turn 5, it could have still gone either way. Turn 6.
Okay.
It really could.
Well, cool. Anything that anybody wants to add before we wrap this up?
I love cats.
Thanks,
Brittany.
Glad we knocked it out. Got a shorter one done tonight. I just want to thank everyone who watched. Yeah. And I can't wait to do this in 7th edition.
Thank y'all very much for the comments. If you're watching this after the fact, we do this live to where you can come and make comments and contribute to the overall, how everything works out during the course of the game and what we talk about. So come and hit us up on Facebook, on the Google Plus and the YouTube and all that kind of stuff. Thank y'all for joining us. Juice, you want to add anything before you?
No, just one last thing. Make sure if you hit us up on iTunes, we'd love those 5 stars, man. It means a lot to us.
Thank you very much, Austin, man. Thanks for doing a lot of the groundwork and hanging out with us.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys, for listening.
All right, everybody out there. Have a good night.